need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
What are you?
He's the best. Yeah. He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. You said from day one you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I'll proudly stand up next to you all. God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you. Coach JB Show.
Yeah, we're in the building. It is Truth Telling Thursday, and we are here. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member if you're not one. We got a loaded show today. 4 guests, fully loaded. OKC Thunder play-by-play announcer Matt Pinto joins us. We're going to talk all things his number 1 seed, OKC Thunder. Arash Markazi joins us, talk about Lakers. He was there covering them last night, as that is the topic in LA. We're going to break that down. Of course, our main man, Steve Kim, joins us. And, man, we got a loaded show for you today. Plus, JT the Brick. If you don't know who that is, he's on series Mad Dog Sports Radio. And he's on a show, KRLV, in Las Vegas, plus everywhere else. He's a known talking head here on the West Coast. Covers all things Vegas and L.A. and West Coast. And JT the Brick is a L.A. staple. West Coast staple. So if you don't know who that is, go check him out. He'll be on as well. So he'll give you the honest and real and raw and uncut sports takes on the realest show on Planet ERF. So pound that like, subscribe, become a member if you're not one. Let's dive right into it, man, because we got a loaded lineup, back-to-back guests. So let's get to it with Steve, Smitty and I before Steve gets on. JJ Redick showed why not just anybody and why not just everybody should coach. Not just anyone who played should coach. Just because you're a player, you shouldn't coach. Doesn't mean you necessarily should coach. Let me just keep reiterating that shit. Not just a guy, especially a guy who's never coached before in his life, who was just a talking head in the media, who was just doing a podcast with his own player named LeBron James 8 months ago. Now he goes right into a leadership role in the NBA. And not just any NBA team. Not just a run-of-the-mill New Orleans Pelicans or fucking Charlotte fucking Bobcats or whatever the fuck their name is. No, the LA Lakers, the most recognized sports team in the world. The Lakers, yeah, those same Lakers. You know, Magic and Kareem and Worthy and Cooper and Shaq and Kobe. Those Lakers, yeah. JJ's arrogance and how he continued to do things just to spite the media that he was just a part of 8 months ago by not playing Jackson Hayes and playing Kleiber, who just got traded and hasn't played since January. He hasn't even practiced one time. But he was cleared yesterday by doctors for last night's game, and JJ played him over all those other cats on the bench. Just slapped him in the face. Gobert dominated the glass. dominated the glass. And JJ makes zero adjustments whatsoever. I mean, when I say zero adjustments, I mean zero. We have seen coach after coach fired after just 1 year. Championship coaches got fired after 2. Not some role player, JJ Redick, gone media personality, gone coach. We're talking about real coaches who have been fired. Budenholzer, fucking Nick Nurse. Nate McMillan, who's much better coach, who has a much deeper resume. But we got a guy in JJ Redick who walks around and just does shit to spite the media who questions him at the podium. He can't even handle that. He got up and walked out. If you want to be taken seriously, Genie Bus, you fire his ass today. You let LeBron go, you get rid of his sorry-ass son, and you get some wing players, a rim protector, some youth, somebody that can knock down a 3, and maybe we'll take you serious here in L.A. before they burn down this fucking crypto center. Luka, I ain't forgot about your sorry crybaby, no defensive crybaby ass. You got blown by 9 times on solo defense, homie. 9. The most of any player all playoffs long. 9 times one-on-one. You got fucking crossed. You got just blown by. Your lack of effort, your lack of defense. I should have to coach effort, homie. You won't win an MVP. You ain't going to win a title because of the simple refusal of playing both sides of the ball. I wouldn't vote for you for MVP ever until your ass gets down in a triple D set and play some goddamn defense. Now, LeBron, your ass uses every excuse in the book. Goats don't make excuses every single year when you get put out the playoffs, homie. When you have the best player on the court on your team in Luka, when you can't score more than 3 points in the last 2 fourth quarters, you can't be the GOAT. You can't be the GOAT when you shoot your team out of the game in the fourth quarter, who refuses to drive your big 6'8" ass to the rack, who everyone says you would have dominated in the 80s and 90s. Who was going to stop you? But you can't dominate now? Coach, he's your age. He's 40. Then don't play, homie. I'm tired of hearing all the fucking excuse makers for fucking LeBron James. When anyone else does shit, the motherfucker gets a pass. LeBron James, though, oh my God, he gets pass after pass after pass. Nobody else gets passes like this, cat, homie. It's fucking weird what LeBron must have over your ass. He either has the Diddy files, the baby oil files, the receipts, something. But God damn, you motherfucker swing from an overrated motherfucking superstar like I've never seen before in my life. It's time to blow it up, LA. It is time to blow it up. But what do I know? JT the Brick joins us. Arash Markazi, Steve Kim, OKC announcer Matt Pinto, all join us. But before any of those guys join us, let's get right into this loaded lineup on the realest show on planet Earth. As my main man, Lamar Jackson loving, AR5 defendant, and Caitlin Clark Jockin, Fox Sports' very own Big Smitty joins the show. Blurry, homie.
Where y'all at, homie? Where the crowd at? If you rock with Big Smitty, say Smitty in the chat. What's going on, homie, man? What's going on, JB? You starting off with fire. You calling people's jobs? Telling people to get fired off the bat. Like, that's crazy, homie. But we're going to down to all that. We got Young Bailey in the background, man. He said we the same age before the show. We got young JB right here, old JB right here. You got the Pyru on, and it wouldn't be us without Jordan Scott. Who is this new name? Alice, cool. Go back. Why is the chat going fast as hell today? It wouldn't be us without Jordan Scott, Alec Callahan, T. Mixon, Blake Borg, Justin Corvining, Goku 7144, Zachary Walker, Boston Richie, Andrew Nance, Perry Mack, and Certified CEO.
Smitty, I'm so pissed off at LeBron James, dog.
Why?
Because he's a fucking fraud, homie. He blames more people. He got Luka for AD and still found a way to blame the front office. Like another fucking excuse. If somebody on this thing gets this guy a pass, homie, every single time he makes a fucking excuse. So you got Luka now. You had AD. You wanted someone else. AD asked for another big man. Remember that shit? He was like, man, we need another big man. And then guess what? He was traded right after that. And then they asked him a question last night right here. They asked him, hey, what you got to say about what AD had to say? And the motherfucker does a condescending smile and basically just throws the front office under the bus after you chose to get JJ Redick and was like, he said what he said. Like, yeah, we needed a big man. Like, come on, homie. When are you LeBron James the GOAT? Like, I'm trying to figure this out. You're the GOAT, you say, homie. You've literally said it out your mouth that you're the best player. Nobody could do what you've done over numerous times, homie. There's sound bites out there where you have said it. But you don't take responsibility, or let me say better, you don't take accountability for shit ever. How do you even consider this motherfucker one of your top 5 players? There's no way in the world that I'm putting this motherfucker in there. And it ain't just because of spite and hate. No, it's your actions, homie. It's a guy that they say is the GOAT because you've played longer than anyone and you're the all-time leading scorer. And you got all these accolades. But yet, my eyes, like Smitty says, work. I've seen the motherfucker choke it off year in and year out, lost more finals than any superstar in the history of the game, whose refusal to take the last second shots to make the right basketball play, always is in defense mode, always puts it on someone else. It's always someone else's fault. I've never heard of Joe Montana, who never threw a pick in a Super Bowl, a Kobe Bryant, who just is the Mamba for a reason, Michael Jordan, legends. I've never heard Patrick Mahomes, who I think is overrated, say it's someone else's fault. This cat says it's over and over and over. It's always someone else's fault when this is the guy who chases rings and big threes. This is the guy who's gone from team to team to team, homie. Not anyone else. Not Steph Curry. They go to Steph Curry. They go to Golden State. Last time I checked, KD, Butler, superstars. Nah, LeBron goes to them, homie. There's just so much to unpack with this thing. But listen, he ain't on the thumbnail today. We had that yesterday.
Right.
You and I picked this team to stave off elimination last night. They showed up. I think you texted me. They didn't show up. That's what they didn't do. They didn't even show up. They did. This is the problem with NBA right now. They're overpaid, under-deliverers, and we sit here and anoint them like the next great thing when literally they know they've gotten paid already, so they don't need to show up to go to work, homie. They're 1 foot in, 1 foot out teams. Miami Heat clearly showed you that. Memphis Grizzlies clearly showed you that. 2 horrible series to start the NBA playoffs off. Horrific series. OKC ran through them motherfuckers like running baby shit, and then Cleveland beat the team by 55 in Game 4. Now we have a Laker team who shows up last night and lets Rudy Gobert do whatever he wanted to do. Like, whatever he wanted to do.
His best game ever.
Ever. Like, Smitty said ever. I think it might be. I'm even joking. Like,
did you watch the game? You watched the
I watched. I actually watched that one.
Jack was like, I never thought I'd be able to say this, but Rudy Gobert can't be stopped. He did a whole joke about it.
He scored 3 points in two quarters. 3 points in 2 fourth quarters. LeBron James, the GOAT, scored 3 points. He had a 3-point from the baseline late last night in the fourth. After I already tweeted out, he is scoreless in the last 2 fourth quarters. And we're going to all sit up here and blame JJ Redick for minutes, blah, 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 blah. Then don't play then, homie. Like, some got to give. I don't want to hear the excuses no more, homie. There's too many stories of legend. There's too many legendary stories out there from between the Jordans and the Kobes and the Ronnie Lotts and the fucking Jack Youngbloods and big-time games when Jordan was sick as fuck. Youngblood broke his leg and won a Super Bowl. Ronnie Lott cut his finger off. Where are you in the GOAT conversation when it comes to when the shit gets hard and gets going, the tough gets going, going gets tough?
Down 3-1 is his moment.
That's it. And that was prime, young.
That's it. But he did it against a 70 fucking 2-10 team or 3-9 team.
Yeah.
Like, that's his moment. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
like,
that's his moment. That's
a big moment. I'm just being real. That's huge.
But I mean, that's the GOAT. That's the GOAT, though. That's his moment.
You know me. Again, he ain't the GOAT for me. He's number 3 on my list, though. He's definitely top 5. Like, again, we will never agree on the top 5.
How do you put him in your top 5, though, after what you see, though, homie, over and over?
I told you my case. Last night wasn't about to move me either way. Like, LeBron now.
It should, though. It should.
No, but this isn't LeBron. This isn't prime LeBron.
But hold on, you can't give him a pass on one side. You can't give him a pass over here though, homie, and then say that he's old over here. Then don't play, homie. I don't want to hear the excuses, homie.
He's still a good player, but then
don't give no excuses.
Okay, all right. Let me ask you this.
Let me ask you this, is he on the court or not?
Did you? Yes, of course.
Okay, then, homie, stop giving excuses.
Okay, cool. But if that's the case, so just for clarity, that means you judge Jordan for Wizard years, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. Cool. I'm all about consistency. So if the Wizard years count, then fucking that hurt Jordan's legacy. Then
remember he scored. Remember Jordan. Remember Jordan dropped 40
in a game.
Multiple games in a row as at 40.
LeBron at this age is better than what Jordan was with the Wizards. It's not even close. So and LeBron has dropped 40 this season.
You're better and my better is different,
like, bro. Come on. And the Wizards, I think they made the playoffs. I think, but they were like a low. They were like 7th. They went on 3 seed. So I'm saying, like,
well, they didn't play in this pussy league.
We can't find excuses for Jordan when he was on the Wizards when he was around his age. But then with LeBron say, "Oh, he's killing his legacy. This is why he's not top 5." What, in year 22? Most players don't even play that long. So you're saying what? If you would have retired after 14 years, then maybe he's top 5. But since he kept playing, it actually made his career work.
Nah, what I keep hearing is the only thing I keep hearing from you and everyone else is how long he's playing. That's the funny part. I mean, you keep telling me how long this cat's played, but you won't tell me the greatness of him besides a 3-1 comeback victory.
No, the
like,
greatest
that's
album,
what your GOAT is.
He's won 4
That's your GOAT.
The greatest album is that
that's your GOAT.
Was it 9 or 10? I think 10 finals. And some of those teams, I'll keep it all the way 1,000, were not championship level teams that should have been there. The year with the last year with the Cleveland Cavaliers, after Kyrie had already left and Kevin Love had left, he literally dragged that team to the NBA Finals. His first NBA Finals of all time when he dropped 27 points in the third quarter against the Detroit Pistons with Rasheed Wallace.
Kyrie won that.
Chauncey Billups, all of them, and he was 20. He was a baby, 27 years old, and led them to the NBA Finals. That team should have been in the NBA Finals. So I'm saying, like, we got to also look at the facts. So it's not just stats, but stats is a part of it. It's not just getting to the finals 10 times, but that is part of it. It's not just getting the 4 rings, but that is a part of it. It's not just all.
So let me ask you something.
At some point, you start to name all the stuff, and it's like,
and then at some point,
you guys ever seen that meme? If you guys seen that when it's like a scientist, he's trying to pull out a piece together. It's so much of this shit with LeBron. Yeah, you start to lose control. It's like, oh my God.
I know. And then there's also that much. There's also that much shit too when you lose 6 titles. And there's an excuse for why you lost 6 titles and you're the GOAT. And there's an excuse why.
Does matter though.
Yeah, it does matter. Guess what the context is, homie? Guess what the context was? What? You chased big threes in the East when the East was the worst conference in all of basketball. You got to the finals. You know what the comparison is? It's when I went 0-10 this year in California high school football, and I got into playoffs because we allow everybody in, like the play in this year in the NBA, and then they go on and win a CIF title because they put them in Division 38. And then everybody's like, oh, shit, they won a championship. They went 0-10 during the regular season. That's literally what LeBron James did early in his career when he beat teams. And then he goes to the actual has to play a real team and gets swept by a Dallas Maverick team with no star, the Dirk Nowitzki led team with Michael Finley. And then you go get smoked by San Antonio, and then you need Ray Allen to hit a corner 3 to even stave off that another game that you should have lost.
All the greats need the others. Robert Horry saved us before. Derek Fisher saved us.
Yeah, but it's funny how you say it's funny how you use the should-haves on his side, but I can use the should-haves to say he should have lost every single one of them. He should have not got saved by Ray Allen, Kyrie Irving, and multiple others who should have not saved his motherfucking ass.
Did I say should have?
How? Yeah, you did. You said he should have won another title. He should have did it. Well, he should have lost another title, homie. He should have lost several other titles. He should have lost a lot of other titles too. He lost 6 times. He should have lost 9 times. And he's in the worst Eastern Conference in those Cleveland days, homie. There was no other competition. Finally, Boston comes along, and guess what happens? Oh, they beat him. And then guess what happens? He ships off and goes to Miami. Oh,
Boston was there.
Come on, man.
Magic was there. The Raptors was
Follow
there.
His resume, homie. Follow his resume.
Pacers were there.
Follow his resume. Just follow his resume. When did we say, damn, LeBron hit that corner 3 to beat the San Antonio Spurs? Damn, LeBron hit that jumper to beat the comeback from 3-1. Like, everyone else wins for him.
Baby, pull that back up, please. That graphic that you just added in here, please. Real quick. So, again, I'm just looking at actual facts. I'm not, trying to, look at, I'm not looking at nothing else. This has nothing to do with nothing. I'm not a LeBron fan. But we got to just get facts. We're looking at the most buzzer beater game winners of all time. He's tied number 2 with our guy Bean, and shout out to Joe Johnson, who quietly has kept it. Real ones know he's a bad boy on the offensive end, and Jordan's right there. So
Joe Johnson, not very happy.
We come up with these narratives that aren't true. And again, I say we because I used to be the same guy. These LeBron ain't making no clutch shots. He ain't making no.
No, you can't say that though. I mean, you can't say that. You can't say that though because.
I was the same guy saying it. I said it all the time.
2 minutes ago, you just told me that the context matters. So you can't show me a stat, homie, and tell me that the context don't matter now. The context mattered a minute ago in your argument, homie. Now it don't matter?
I didn't say that. Give me context.
So a bank shot straight away 3. So a bank shot straight away 3 versus Orlando, that to me counts as a number, right? We got it. He beat Orlando. He beat Orlando. No, I know you don't. That's what I'm saying. My point, Smitty, is context matters. Yeah. So a straight-on bank shot 3, context, my eyes, and you say your eyes work, homie, then my eyes work too and say, God damn, that's not – come on, homie. I get it. It goes down as a number, but look, my eyes work. Okay, come on, homie. This motherfucker is not a legitimate cat, homie, when it comes to that game winner. Look at the game winners.
He used the backboard and didn't call it, so it don't count.
I'm just saying, Smitty, that's not skill, homie.
You do not dissect this with anybody else.
Homie.
That's crazy.
Come on, homie. Never heard this in my life. It does matter. You just said context matters, but it don't matter when it comes to LeBron.
I didn't say, but that's crazy context.
It ain't crazy, homie. I've seen all his games. I've seen buzzer beaters.
How he made the shot. That's
how many buzzer beaters? How many buzzer beaters does he have at layups?
I don't know. Let's find it. I don't know that stat with any of these guys. That's nothing. Like you're reaching it again. You're reaching. You're trying to find okay.
Not reaching. It's fact.
He's so close to Jordan. He's tied with Kobe. Let's figure out how this is possible. He's made game winners.
Here's the issue though. All right, I want to get the issue. The defense for this dude, okay? The defense for him is mind-boggling.
Oh shit!
What is this?
My fault. I didn't even see the number. Shout out to Ron Kaminsky. Is that American?
I don't think so.
That can't be American. Ain't no. Well, I mean, still, regardless, appreciate you.
Well, no. Let's find out again. See, you don't do the contact. You don't look into shit really well.
I want to ask the question.
What if it's $1 and he's trolling us?
I appreciate it.
Don't clap for him.
No, because you ain't gotta give us nothing.
Nah, I think he got blocked in the Discord even, so he's probably trolling you. You gotta dig deep, homie.
I'll take $1. I'm from the hood, homie.
Yeah, but he's probably just trolling you to get you to do that. What is TBH, Bailey? What does TBH mean?
THB.
Yeah, whatever.
It can't be American.
That's $6 US.
Oh, I'll take it. That's cool.
Yeah. Fuck him. Get that motherfucker out of here. I don't like that motherfucker. He got blocked in the Discord for being a bitch, and now he wants fucking help back, and then he sends us some bullshit crypto $6. Get your bitch ass up out of here, you fucking weirdo fuck. See, I'm a real one all the time. That's the difference between me and a lot of you fucks. I'm always going to tell you the same shit over and over. I don't really give a fuck who I'm an asshole to, because at least I'm an equal opportunist asshole. That's what y'all don't respect. That's the problem. Y'all don't respect that. You want these fucking ebb and flow assholes. Nah, I'm going to look deep, homie. I'm going to see some weird shit. When Mike Bunny sends $100 and it's red, and this motherfucker sends me $200 and it's yellow.
Yellow? That's why I was like,
yellow's gay. Yellow's a gay color.
Oh, okay.
So I just throw it out there. That triggered me right out the gate. I knew it wasn't real. But anyway, listen, LeBron's the biggest overrated superstar in the history of sport. Patrick Mahomes is second. And JJ Redick should never have got the job, as I stated when he got the job. You and I questioned it.
He been flip-floppy, though.
Yeah,
we said that.
We said, then we said,
yeah, proved us wrong because they were fucking balling.
No, I said he deserves to be in the Coach of the Year conversation because of the result. Because of the result.
Fired. So it's like, damn, like, that's a hell of a year.
Yeah. No.
Getting fired.
Let's be honest with it.
Let's do it.
This still goes back to the first statement we ever made. He should never have got the job, and he showed us that. Now, what your team does during the season, because you did have, remember, we still talk about the two best players in the NBA at the ones top fives, and AD and LeBron. And then you get Luka, and then you have a third seed.
Top five.
You finish the third. You finish. Well, then if he ain't top three, if top five, then Luka. Then don't put Luka in top five.
Hold on, what are you doing right now?
Don't put Luka in top five then.
Oh, no. Just for clarity, I said AD is in top five. What's that?
Luka's not top five either then.
Man, you better stop.
So a guy that can
AD
score 40,
is not in the, I love AD.
You're crazy as hell,
AD.
homie. You're
Luka
crazy as hell.
Anthony Davis. The reason why they make the trade.
You're crazy as hell. That's why one team got put out in the first round, homie.
Let me ask you this. No, I got one question for you. Let me ask you one question. Tell me if you know. I don't know. At what point when AD
why did I get removed on TikTok?
AD was the leader of his team, when did he lead his team to even the Western Conference Finals? Please let me know. I don't know. I don't know if he did it or not. Matter of fact, I do know, homie. He didn't do it. He made out the first round like one fucking time. But a guy named Luka led his team out to the Western Conference Finals before, went to the NBA Finals just last year with a bunch of just regular guys on his team. That's a fact, homie. That's a
bottom
fact.
line is this.
So do not put
I take the guy that plays defense
category as Luka. You might say you like AD more. That's fine. He's not better than Luka. Stop. That's not. We're not about to handle stupid.
He can score 40 any night he wants, and he can actually play defense.
Why don't he do it?
Because he's always a hurt motherfucker,
okay,
homie.
That matters.
So he also plays defense. I got a guy who gets hurt and crybaby who don't play defense. I'm taking AD all day. All day. At least I know I'm going to get one consistent side of the ball, and that's in defense by AD. At least I know that if he's out there. The other guy I got to ask questions about if he's out there. Same as AD.
Ain't no same as AD.
Luka been hurt all year, homie.
Nowhere near as injury.
Luka been hurt all year, homie.
He's nowhere near as
Luka been hurt all year.
Davis.
What do you mean?
He's nowhere near as injury prone as Anthony Davis. We're not going to that's why I get pissed on the show.
What happened last night to Luka? What happened last night to Luka?
We got to stop talking basketball.
What happened last night to Luka?
He came back in the game and finished the game.
And come on, homie. Did you watch the game? You watched the game?
That's what happened last night. Homie.
Did you watch the game?
Yeah, I watched the game.
Did you watch this bitch ass on defense run down like every hold her? And then feel sorry for me, but then he gets on offense, homie, and he's full. Wow, like homie, you fought for the okey doke shit. I've never seen a cat fall for.
My best
homie, you've been duped in your life.
I say,
homie, you're not really from the hood. You're not really from the hood. Guaranteed. Yeah, no way you're from the hood. Because you get suckered into all believing these weak ass motherfuckers' excuses, homie. I never seen no cat from the hood fall for these okey doke ass excuses. He can't run down and play defense, but then on offense he's straight erect and can shoot. All of a sudden he's fine, and you believe he's GOAT? Get the fuck out of here, homie. I'll take AD all day.
Chat, did I call Luka the GOAT? I know a lot of y'all love.
Excuse me. I didn't mean GOAT. I meant top five. No.
And what you just did, you do that all the time. You do that all the time. But this time you actually admitted to your wrongdoings, which I appreciate. You always fuck up. But I'm glad you appreciate it.
I don't ever fuck up.
So I'm going to say this right now. Anybody who knows basketball, ask any NBA player, current or former, and they will tell you that Luka is better than AD. AD is great. I'm not dissing AD. He's really good when he's on the court. He's not Luka. Stop, Jason. Stop. Look at the resume. He's not Luka. He's not. I'm taking
the defensive guy.
He's not. He's never made a playoff run ever when he was the guy. Ever.
I'm taking defense guy.
Ever. That's a fact.
I take defense guy.
Am I lying or not? Before we move on, am I lying or not?
What?
Has AD, as the lead of his team, has he ever made a deep playoff run in his entire career? Has he ever done it?
New Orleans, homie.
He's top 5 though, right? So
what does that have to do with anything?
An hour ago, we were talking about LeBron. You said, well, we're making excuses. New Orleans. If you top 5, figure it out.
How are you?
The average is in Minnesota.
We're not talking top 5 ever, homie.
I didn't. You said now.
God damn! Why are you trying to talk about? I said LeBron top 5 ever, homie. Stop trying to manipulate the audience, homie. Stop trying to be this good media guy, homie, and flip the audience in your favor.
Homie. It just is what it is. The shoe fits. I just wear it.
Let's dive into quote of the day, man, because we only got about 30. We only got.
I'm gonna probably.
What do we got? 30 minutes.
That's it. After that, it's number guess 7.
Sean King said, "Can't believe." Sean King said, "I can't believe Smitty."
Oh, nah. We all listen. Shout out to Sean King. Sean King. You two don't know basketball.
Can't believe Smitty capping for Luka. He kills your team, fat ass crybaby.
Again, every comment y'all make, you can tell it's personal. It's emotional. That's why I can't listen to what y'all say when it comes to basketball. Y'all don't like his mentality and how he cries to the ref. So that fucks up.
Oh, it's hard to watch, homie. It's hard to watch.
And mess up your logic.
Aren't you a competitive player?
Young cat who's able to just woosah.
I know you enough
and speak with logic, not emotion.
Well, by the way, Sean King was a all-American basketball player. I don't know how he doesn't know anything.
Well, he forgot everything he used to do.
Let me ask you something.
Shout out to Sean.
I'm trying to figure out, but Sean, you can't comment on text and not be on the show, homie.
Yeah, so I'm no more reading. I'm not reading.
Get healthy, and come back on the show so you can talk shit because I can't read text messages and do all this shit, and then go on the yacht and do all my. I got other shit I got to do.
Unpaid, all type of shit.
Well, look, I don't even know what I was gonna say, man. All I know is this. You a competitor. I know fucking damn well you ain't going to come off the field every single day and cry to the referee about being held, being da-da-da-da. This dude cries fucking. It's hard to watch a $250, $300, $400 million prima donna cry every single time down court, homie. Like, it's hard to watch a cat do that. And then listen, I can handle it if you play and you're full go and you get down and play defense and then nasty on defense. But homie, you're not. You don't play defense whatsoever. You cry all day long, and I'm supposed to respect that, and it's a top 5 performance? Fuck no. He's hard to watch, homie.
Top 5 performance. He's a top 5 player.
He's not a top 5 player. That's what I mean by top 5 performer. He's not. I mean performer. He's not. He's not a top 5 performer, homie.
I'm gonna be real calm. When you get a chance,
does defense win championships or offense win games?
They offense win championships.
Stop. You said it before. Defense win championships.
Championships too. I mean, that's a popular phrase, but at the end of the day, I don't know, because if defense win championships, AD should have 10 of them, right? He has one in a bubble.
I said, when you win a championship, what wins it, homie?
Well, you gotta get
is it the New England Patriots stopping the greatest show on turf in the Rams? Or is it the Rams who scored 50 on that defense? No, I believe the defense won the championship, right?
Basketball, homie. Only thing I'm saying is this, Jason.
Think about the defenses.
Only thing I'm saying is this, Jason.
Get back loud, homie.
Let's look at resumes and let's look at results. That's all I'm gonna say, okay? So just look at everything Luka has done in his career. Make it to the finals, leading a team that was solid but wasn't like a top tier team, going to West Conference Finals. All the stats, the numbers, your eyes work too, the skill set he has, the ability to pass, shoot, rebound, do everything. Trust me, okay? I'm not gonna argue no more. I understand. I know you don't watch basketball, so it's hard for you to probably understand what I'm saying. You just watch the highlights and the lowlights, but trust me, I'm not gonna lie to you, Jason. But
I still know more basketball than you, so it doesn't matter.
We go and move on. We can move on.
All right, let's move on, man, because I want to show you. I want to put a rest this last thing. We're not talking Shador no more, and we're not talking gorilla versus human no more after this. So we're just going to be clear. I'm tired of dealing with this.
Hey, this is hard.
We're not.
Is that Loaf with the tuba in the back? Or is that supposed to be Bailey? I was supposed to be Bailey with the Seahawks. I thought it was Loaf in the back. That's Bailey. Hey, I look hard. That look like me though. Like I'm swollen, motherfucker. Arm. And you got the thong flops on. You're not going anywhere. You know what I would do in this situation? Because it's kill or be killed. I'm pushing you forward. He going to eat you. Then I'm running around. I'm running around. I'm going to jump on his back, and I'm choking the shit out of him. He's going to be swinging left and right, but I'm not letting go.
Choke. Stop with the choke. Stop with the choke thing, homie. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. I didn't even see this.
Why is Bailey the one in the middle? Like he the one that like saved us almost. Like me and you exhausted. Like you're dead. I look at my face. I'm exhausted. I'm barely alive.
You're dead.
Bailey's like the badass in the middle with the glasses on. Like he made it happen. That's crazy.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
I
First of all, go back to the first picture. Go back to the first picture, Smitty. Bailey. Smitty thinks he could get around his neck and choke his jawline when his jaw is 3 feet wide. His head and jaw is 3 feet wide. He thinks he can grab him with no problem. Smitty, so in between everybody out there listening, I've sent Smitty multiple people that actually have worked with gorillas, and they literally said, hey, man, you guys are crazy and delusional. And so I've literally sent all the scientific data to Smitty, and he still thinks 100 men can win. So
it's been horrible examples. He's sending me like weak-minded men, beta men, who's pussy. So I don't want to listen to them.
Yeah,
our mindset's different. I mean, a lot of people told me that I couldn't go make out the hood. They said I couldn't go D1. They said the stats were against me. I don't listen to stats, homie. I'm different. I'm not an analytical guy.
I hear you. Anyway, I'm mindset too, but damn, I know.
You was a white dude in Compton living in your car, homie. And look where you at. You rich as hell now.
I'm not rich as hell.
It's different.
I'm saying that too because I get calls and Matt texts and shit.
I mean, I'm tell people the truth. He's about to hop in the water. Hey, he swole though. I ain't gonna lie, I'm swole.
Who?
That gorilla swole. That picture right here. Look, he's.
Yeah. You got a shot. You got a shot at that,
homie.
Yeah, you got a shot at that.
I mean, you sent me one video where the gorilla was scared and he could have ate 2 humans for messing with his kid and he just ran off. Didn't do nothing to him. Because
it wasn't a threat, homie.
Soft.
Anyway, the funny part is the guy that's brought up the fact that
look at
the guy Smitty. He don't
look at his soft ass.
Smitty, he's not scared.
He's really look at him. He's legit scared, homie. I'm not gonna be funny.
Come on, homie. He's like a pit bull with a kitty cat, homie. Kitty cats make pit bulls move too because they don't want to kill it. What are they gonna kill it for? What are they gonna get out of it? Come on, homie.
Dogs kill cats all the time. I don't know what you're talking about. A dog pretty much killed my cat when I was a kid. You know, R.I.P. to Samson. All I'm saying is this though.
So
look at this, homie. To Samson, homie. I was one of my
Samson
pets,
fucked
homie.
up.
I was hella emotional. I'm not gonna lie about it. As a kid, I remember crying. Like,
makes sense. You cried for a cat.
It was my pet. It was my first pet. I was a kid, homie.
I'd rather cry for a dog.
I mean, you cry, yeah. You always cry for your dogs.
Men cry for dogs.
The good thing though is that I know I got leverage over you. If me and you ever beef and like some serious beef, I know what I need to do to get what I want. You don't love nobody or nothing. You don't like nothing but 2 things in your life, Callie and Ash. So I know if it comes down to it and I need some money or something, I'm gonna kidnap Ash and Callie until you give me my fucking. I'm gonna ransom them. I know my way in. You know what I mean? So
fuck Samson. Let's get to the quote of the day. Brought to you by BetUS TV. Samson's the worst cat name I probably ever heard in my life. It's
Bible name.
Literally doesn't go with a cat. Like you don't name Samson a cat. You don't name a cat Samson.
He wasn't like a regular cat, homie. Like I'd be asleep, wake up. He wait for me to wake up at the end of the bed. He'll look back. Meow. Like good morning. Meow. Like meow. Watch cartoon. And he'll fight too. Like he was aggressive. He was different. He's a scrap, homie. I miss Samson. Now I think my parents said they were gonna drop him off to the vet.
Read this with your he got your picture.
Ethan Nolan. I cried over my dead cat 2 months later. My friend shot and killed a man and made me help him move the body. He wasn't crying then. So weird how life works. Yeah, I respect that either. It's crazy. But hey, what do you know? Steve H, go to Indiana and type in 42nd and post roll and just walk around.
We got weirdo shit. Weirdo motherfucker in the chat. And he got your picture, by the way.
It is what it is. I got a lot of fans.
Hey, quote of the day brought to you by BetUS TV. Smitty. One day, the people that didn't believe in you will tell everyone how they met you.
Powerful, homie. Because people love like, and I've been in this position before, you know, younger, whatever. People love being connected to somebody who's popping.
Mm-hmm.
They love the fact, oh yeah, JB, yeah. So actually, you know what? I actually used to play for JB for 1 year.
Guaranteed. Oh yeah.
Like
when Netflix came out, homie, everybody was cool with me again.
Yeah, everybody. administrators, ADs. So you didn't
what I said? No, I said, get the fuck away from me. That's the problem. That's why to this day, cats were hot because when I was right, they said they saw this happen and they all came back, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Where was you at when I was broke and needed $5, motherfucker? That's the question. That's the part. That's the problem. But a bunch of fucking clout chasing bitches act like they don't remember. Like I'm supposed to forget everything. That's the crazy. I'll forgive you, but I ain't forgetting.
Never forget.
Contrary to belief, brought to you by BetUS. They never tell the full story. Just the part that makes you look bad. Contrary to belief.
They don't say the part that makes them look bad. They don't tell the truth, homie.
Hell nah. Fucking bitches.
Hard. That's the thing.
Poll question, Smitty. Let's just drive right into it because we got guest after guest after guest. This is going to be rapid fire. Hope you got your work.
I'm going to let you interview. I'm going to sit back.
It's Truth Telling Thursday. Should the Lakers fire JJ Redick after losing in the first round? Go.
I would say no, but if you look at their history, recent history of coaches, then they got to stay consistent. They fired Vogel after winning a championship. They fired Darvin Ham after leading them to the Western Conference Finals. So if that's the bar and it's pretty much championship or bust, then hey, stay consistent. Now, again, would I fire him if I'm the GM or the owner? No, I wouldn't. I think, he did a hell of a job overall in year one, and one would assume that he would get better. Like knowing this is his first time coaching ever, and he was this good, you would assume he would grow and be better. So, and he's young, and he connects with the players. So I wouldn't want to fire him. But if I'm the Lakers organization and I look at what we typically do when coaches don't win at all, then you got to stay consistent. So if you fire Darvin Ham and fire Frank Vogel, then I don't see why you don't fire JJ Redick.
So they should then.
I just asked
should they fire? That's all the question. Should they fire?
Yeah, but I answered the question. I mean, it's context matters. It's not that simple.
But you said
no. I said if I am the G, if this is my team, I am not firing him. But this is what the Lakers do. They fire coaches who we deem as pretty damn successful. So if that's the case, then you stay on board. Stay what you do.
So why aren't you firing
what's
them?
special about JJ compared to Vogel and Darvin Ham is what I'm trying to say.
Well, they should never been hired is my whole point. But why aren't you firing them then?
I said I wouldn't fire him because he had a good year overall and he's young. It's his first year coaching. So again, you would assume he would improve. Like if you look at JB, I'm sure you look at your own career, look at your first year you coached and look at your last year you coached. I'm sure it is much improvement just off experience alone. Like JJ has never coached a playoff game until a playoff series until this past week. So now even though they lost, he has this in his mind. He has the film. He has the stuff that, he made mistakes on, whether that's the same starting five all second half, or if it's not putting you big, whatever reason or excuse we want to put up as a mistake for JJ Redick, he has that experience now and he can learn from it. So I just would assume he would be better moving forward. He's young, he's fiery. I mean, fiery, ironically, in terms of his energy and all that type of stuff. So I don't like firing coaches all the time. Like I think in all sports, they fire coaches just left and right. I'm just saying this is what the Lakers do, though. You understand what I'm saying? Like this is their MO. So if that's what you do, why is JJ special? Why is JJ more special than guys who's been coaching for way longer, much more experience, and took the Lakers longer in their careers? That's what I'm saying.
LeBron got him hired. LeBron will get him fired. That's what people don't understand, but that's your all GOAT. All right, let's dive into the first thing, Smitty, right at the gate before Steve Kim hops on.
First time, man, let's do it. Anthony Edwards takes a victory lap outside Crypto Arena.
Don't get fucked up. All right.
Victory lap, man. After eliminating Lakers, he said, they said Lakers in 5, and we was up 3-1, and they said Lakers in 7.
It's how
Go
soft.
to hell today.
It's how soft we become.
Look,
He'd got laid. Hey Mo, he'd got laid down in the fucking 90s. I know that. I know that. Anthony Edwards would have got his ass laid down.
That's not cute.
It is true. It is true.
Cute. Don't brag about that.
Oh, you said cute. I thought you said true.
It's not cute. Don't brag about.
But it's the truth.
Killing people and NBA players.
But it's the truth, homie.
Y'all wouldn't kill no NBA star.
Because they weren't walking around the street. That's my point, homie. This motherfucker's walking around downtown L.A. in our backyard talking shit about the Lakers, of all people. And y'all loud. L.A., I'm calling y'all out, homie.
This ain't no game shit, homie. This is basketball.
All of you L.A. cats in downtown, you're soft. Y'all soft, homie. Y'all liberal. You went so far left and liberal and worried about fucking Kamala that you allowed this motherfucker to spit in your fucking face and you didn't do shit. You let that motherfucker walk straight down motherfucking Figueroa, homie, and you didn't do shit. Get the fuck out of here. He would have got his ass put hands on him. All them motherfuckers right there. All them cats right there would have got fucked up. All of them. Little bodyguard, all them motherfuckers would have got laid down, homie.
Are you suggesting that somebody should have attacked Anthony Edwards on Figueroa Street?
Pressed them. For sure, pressed them, yeah.
A superstar face of the league.
Hell yeah.
So we take this back to the 80s.
Hold on, no. So you're cool with
you saying they would have pressed Larry Bird?
Yes.
And like
what do you mean? Like, there was fighting in the street, homie. What do you mean?
On Larry Bird,
you don't get it. It's okay. See, that's the problem.
I'm asking.
See, you keep saying me. I shouldn't talk basketball, but then I sit here and get cringe vibes when I got to talk to a 30-year-old who doesn't have a fucking any inclination on really what real life was then.
I'm not from
and
LA.
I'm trying to tell you. Yes, I'm telling you, homie. Yes. Every old school in the chat's telling you. Everybody in the chat's telling you that, Smitty. Everybody, look.
I don't care about the chat.
But I'm telling you, they're here. They're from here. They know.
I don't trust the chat.
Homie, they would have got pressed. He would have got pressed. At least give me some. I'm not advocating for somebody to shoot a motherfucker. I'm saying they would have got pressed. There would have been some Hoovers over there, some 60s over there, there would have been so many motherfuckers over there with Laker flags on their lolos, homie. He out here, he getting cats to dap him up. Soft ass pussies. You ain't no real LA fan. That's why we're fair weather fans here, homie. Just sit and tell you, unless you win, you don't know who the fans are. Like that's why I like when you lose here, because you'll find out real quick who the fucking real fans are.
So, Jason, this for clarity. So, tell me back. If you're 17 years old and you just outside chilling after the game, whatever, and the Celtics just beat the Lakers, and Larry Bird's walking back to his hotel, he's talking a little bit, but he's just happy.
He might have got fucked up.
He got to win.
He might have got fucked up bad.
And you're in a position where, you can shake his hand or whatever. Yeah. You might fall. You're 17. You telling me you were such a Lakers fan that you would have been like, fuck that, Larry, fuck that. I ain't about to take his motherfucking hand. Like, you would have been, what?
Can we?
No, I'm asking you. Please do.
Yeah, but don't act like the context don't matter, homie. Larry Bird didn't go out there and talk shit about Lakers in 5. This motherfucker is literally spitting in the LA fan base's face, talking shit, walking down Fig. Larry Bird didn't do that, homie. Larry Bird didn't do that and wouldn't do that. I'm just trying to throw that out there. Like, why? I don't understand why you change the narrative. Why are you changing the facts of what's going on, homie? Don't make up your own shit. Give me the facts. This cat is talking shit for 4 straight games after the fact. And listen, I'm all for it.
I love it. It's my favorite player. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Talk that shit especially when LeBron, everybody says Lakers in 5 and all that.
Football
Talk your
mindset. Shit. He played football. Don't forget that.
But Smitty's, you say 2 things can be true.
I always say that. And you
don't get caught slipping, homie. That's why we don't wear slippers in the hood. Don't get caught slipping.
He's not getting slipping, man.
Homie, he talking shit walking down Fig.
Not like that. I live
he talking shit walking around Fig, homie.
I lived downtown for 6 years, bro. Fig is safe, homie.
Because LA saw. Because LA ain't LA no more, homie. That's what I don't understand why you don't listen to me.
That's good.
Why you not believing me, homie?
Be a mature man. Be a mature man. I understood the game. I understand game culture to an extent. I understand all that. But ain't it a good thing that brothers ain't banging downtown on Fig, homie? Ain't that good?
No, because here's you know what I miss. I miss real shit when cats would pressing motherfuckers and represent. No. Let me hear the whole thing. Representing their hood and their thing, but not beating up old ladies, teachers, and robbing every fucking store. So I got to lock up my fucking deodorant at Rite Aid. I miss those days. I'd rather have that when the real gangsters would actually check these bitch made ass soft pussies for running up in Nordstrom's and running out with all the goods for free. And when a gangster used to actually fucking press them You can find them on video. And we're like, what the fuck you doing in our hood fucking robbing our fucking stores? That's the shit I miss, homie. When real men were real men. That's what I miss. Now, we're so soft, we won't even press a motherfucker talking shit, but yet you're cool. And you say, well, you're defending. Well, JB, aren't you okay with not gang banging? But then we're okay with these motherfucking bitch-ass kids throwing down grandmas and aunties and robbing fucking Rite Aid. You cool with that, though? Get the fuck out of here.
Who's cool with that?
I'm just everybody. Shit, that's your point. You just said, don't you like gangsters not killing? You just said that.
I don't think anybody's cool with grandmothers getting robbed and pushed over.
You know what I'm saying, Smitty?
That's not an epidemic. That's not something that's like.
I
know you see it on your TikTok, and it makes you feel like
it absolutely is.
It's happening every day.
It absolutely is.
It's not, JB. That's not some epidemic. That's not some shit that just every store you go to. Like it's not that serious, JB. Yes. Everything happens in this world. Everything happens. It's always everything's always happening. There's molesters. There's people with the R word. There's essays. There's always been all of that. You didn't see that when you was a kid because you didn't have no phone. So they didn't see it. You see everything now, and it makes your brain feel like this is going insane. Like no, this isn't some shit that's going on everywhere. So my point is like that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm saying we shouldn't even. We often brag about shit that we shouldn't brag about. I'm including myself. And growing up, I would brag about being from the hood, brag about being from somewhere where people will rob and shoot and kill.
Hey,
and steal,
stop,
brag
homie.
about all that stuff. We talking about a superstar basketball player trash talking about basketball, and we saying we mad that he didn't get pressed.
Smitty,
Stop.
you telling me you wouldn't brag about it, but every song you listen to is about smoking a motherfucker. What are you talking about, homie? What are you talking about? Stop, homie. The hypocrisy is crazy.
One is not true. One is not true. Two, when I do listen to those songs, come on, me. I'm not listening to because I'm about to go outside and go do it, homie. I'm listening to sound. It's a sound.
We're not saying that. I'm not saying that, but don't talk about that. You just said a literal hypocrisy like no other, homie. Come on now. I didn't say you're going to go out and do what you heard. You're a grown man. You're much more mature than these fucking idiots. What I'm saying is you're out here talking about we're not going to actually go talk about it. Like that's what they literally do on every fucking song we hear right now. Why you tell me rapper's dead right now? Come on, man. Stop.
Well, Chris said this convo is dead, so we got to move on.
Well, Chris producer, so move on, Smitty.
Sorry, Chris.
What? Huh?
No, I'm saying sorry, Chris, for not keeping you entertained. That's on me. Moving on then.
Why you sad, homie?
Dang, I don't think we got. Well, I think it's time for a commercial. It's perfect time, actually, Chris.
Why you sad about it?
I'm disappointed. Like anytime we fall short of our excellence in pleasing our fans and especially somebody like Chris, she's been watching you since before I joined, and she was helping you produce and stuff like that before I even joined. So it's like, damn, like Chris is disappointed. So it's like, damn, she woke up just for us this morning. She got her little tea. She got her little night clothes on still because she getting ready for the day, and we disappointed her. So we apologize for that, Chris.
Last thing, we
got to hurry up and go to commercial break though, quick. There's a new video that Kev made though. If you want to see it?
No, I don't like. I'm not a big Kev the Trucker fan. Like really? Fuck Kevin the Trucker. No, really? He's a fucking clown.
Well, I'm gonna unfollow him then. I thought we rocked with Kev. My fault.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But no, I don't need to show Kev the Trucker.
He made something good, though. I heard.
No, tell him. Well, show it.
I don't know. It's what Bay said. Bay the producer. If it's bad, it's on me.
I believe Bailey. Go.
If it's good, it's on me.
What is beating the gorilla mean? Killing it?
Why is my fat face showing, homie?
How are you gonna kill it? Choke him out, break his neck. Okay, it's never happened.
The only thing funny about this is like
the rewind it. Let me hear it again.
Yeah.
What is beating the gorilla mean? Killing it? Yeah. Okay. How are you gonna kill it? Choke him out, break his neck. Okay, it's never happened.
That last part kind of funny because if you hear what I say and he look at the gorilla's face, he's like pissed that I said that. He's like pissed that I said.
That's like
one more time, baby.
I couldn't have meant fatter.
Well, that's
what is beating the gorilla mean? Killing it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How are you gonna kill it? Choke him out, break his neck. Okay, it's never happened.
It'll never happen, and that's it.
It is right. There's nothing else to say.
Hey, homie, did you see the video Paris made? And I was standing up, and I'm like, 200 man like this.
Why you throw it like that? You threw it just like the gorilla. Like your arm did exactly what the gorilla arm would do. Like that was perfect. And then the jog, homie. The jog from side to side, that got me.
What do you mean jog? What do you mean jog?
When you first stood up, you was like the gorilla go, and you left screen.
When a jog.
What was that?
Sprint.
Oh, that was your full. Oh, sorry. Your sprint off screen was impressive. It was funny. Cause I can see a gorilla seeing all these people coming to him, and then like just to like strategize, he'll throw one and then sprint out to throw us off. And now we gotta like readjust to where he at now. So when I saw you run, you look just like one. So, but let's go to commercial break, please, right now. We got a guest in 2 minutes, and this is our last break of the show. So let's go to break right now. Don't go nowhere. We got 4 guests coming on today. I'm done the rest of the show.
TikTok banned me.
See you on 3.
Going to do on this show is be blasphemous. It was blasphemy for what you said, and I don't know, Smitty, baby. Can you show Smitty's tweet or Instagram post about 100 dudes versus a gorilla?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's been going viral. It started off on Twitter. Now everybody's talking about it.
I didn't know shit about it, Smitty. How did this whole thing start?
A guy put out a rant, like super random tweet. Listen, he probably was high off Taco Bell and weed, and just literally was like, I think 100 dudes could beat one gorilla in the fight. Literally, that's all he said. And for some reason, that tweet just the algorithm worked in his favor. It blew up, and everybody started having their own little chiming in, having their own discussion. So I was like, man, I'm gonna give my take, and I was saying like, hey, the 100, I'm going with the 100 men, but it depends what type of men they are. It can't be no 100 just, average American men, 160, 170. Is the video right here?
Hey, man, I had to get my 2 cents on this whole little debate. 100 men versus one gorilla. Who will win? It's an easy answer. 100 men. Now, the question is, though, what type of men? Are they everyday type men, 5'9", $160? Or are they dogs like me? Like, are they D linemen, O linemen? You know what I mean? 6'3", 6'4", 6'2", 275, 300, 330 solid. If it's those type of men, 100 of them, I'm giving the 100 men gonna win. But they gotta strategize. I think 50 of them come in the front, 50 of them come from behind, pause. Half of them gonna die. Let's keep it all the way 1,000. Half of them gonna die. But at some point, the gorilla gonna tap out. 100, 300 pounders on me? 100 men gonna win that all day, every day.
So a gorilla, average gorilla weighs between 300 and 500 pounds. They're extremely. That's a fact. Go look it up. They're extremely, extremely strong though, and the pressure they have with their mouth, they could, that's where it comes in. The weight doesn't correlate to the strength, and I understand that. All I'm saying though is, if we have a strategy of 100 real men, dogs, a lot of them gonna die. I'm saying that there has to be sacrifice with everything. That's life. But if you strategize and they're coming in from all angles, the motherfucker ain't got arms behind his back. I'm saying at some point, y'all, if you get enough on them at the same time, you can get them. It's gonna be extremely tough, but it's possible. That's all I'm saying. JB, go ahead.
It's not possible, and I know it's gonna sound crazy, and I know I made a personal text to you guys yesterday. My mom was like, even hit me up. My mom was like, you need to let them know. So at 12 years old, I studied gorillas for a whole year of my life. All God. On God, on my dad, on my daddy, on my daughter. I told you, Smitty, and I broke it down. I told you yesterday, you saw. On God. Why did I do that? I'm just telling you, it's a long story. I literally studied from a silverback gorilla to a motherfucking chimpanzee to a motherfucking, I'm telling you, homie, fucking
The ultimate Kilimanjaro. I'm the ultimate motherfucking Kilimanjaro. I know everything.
He said, my mom texted me saying you need to let him know.
Hey, I'm telling you, homie. I know more about gorillas than I would say any average man walking on this earth.
All right, break. Tell me everything. Tell me 30 seconds. Tell me everything about Silverback right now.
First of all, they can lift a ton.
Yeah.
Like literally 1,800 to 2,000 pounds, the average gorilla. By the way, let's be clear. Female gorillas are average 300 pounds. A male silverback is anywhere from 650 to 800 pounds up to 900 pounds. Which gorilla are we talking about?
The woman.
I ain't heard none of these debates talk about the gorilla. Y'all just keep talking about what kind of man. Is it gonna, I'll make it real simple. Take 100 Navy SEALs or 100 MMAs. I don't give a fuck. Take the best 100 MMA fighters. You will get your face taken off like this. And guess what happens? When the first guy gets his face ripped apart and the guy's body gets snapped in literal half, 100 other dudes were running away. The fight's over. Y'all keep bringing up this blasphemous, fictional fucking story tale that you think is going to really happen. You are going to get ripped in literal half, homie, because no human on this earth can even grasp the concept of how strong this animal is. It's not a normal, just walk-in-the-mill pit bull, homie. This is a man with a 9-foot wingspan, hands bigger than Andre the Giant, who can run 25 miles an hour, who has a 60-inch vertical leap, who can climb a tree 100 foot tall in 30 seconds. You're going to beat that.
100 of them.
Stop.
All right, so let me ask you this then. So what's the number, homie? Because what you're basically saying, you're saying is no matter what the number is, then based upon what you're saying, it don't matter. We have 1,000 men. It don't matter what it is. We can never beat them.
It doesn't. And let's dive into the whole strategy.
Homie, you hear what you saying right now?
Yeah, I do.
Hold on. So 1,000 men couldn't be one gorilla.
Why do we keep moving up the thing? Let's talk about the fucking 100. You can't stay focused. You can't stay focused.
Hold real quick, because people in my chat been going there. So I'm like, I want to know what's the number then? Because if 100,
there ain't a number.
Can do,
there ain't a number because there's not 100,000 or 100,000 men who are going to sit there and watch his homie get his literal face ripped off his skull and broken in half, and then stick around and fight.
I'm not pussy.
That's the first problem.
I'm not pussy, Jason. If me and you in the battle,
so you're going to go out there and die.
I would die for you, homie. If me and you in battle, and I see somebody rip your face and split your body in half, I gotta die for your honor. I can't just run away.
I'm not gonna be there. Sorry.
Hold on, you're definitely gonna be there. You're a white boy. You a white boy.
I'm definitely not going there.
You're a white boy.
I actually know what a gorilla does. So,
you probably try to talk to him. You probably go out there and try to talk to him.
Here's the thing. You know what the funny part is? I did not know, Smitty, till yesterday that this was a real discussion.
I asked y'all to make this the thumbnail. Betty thought he said if we bored. JB didn't respond. I know this shit, homie. I do this shit at a high level.
Y'all really are dead serious that you think this shit blows my mind.
Hey, Smitty.
Yeah.
What's that name? The MMA guy, Cormier or whatever?
Daniel Cormier. Yep. It was a video.
I sent you that video. He said that 100 of me would get mopped up. He said it himself. So shout out to Daniel Cormier, who actually has a sense and is smart, outside the box thinker, who understands real logic.
But that's why I didn't say Daniel Cormier in my list. I said 100 John Jones, who beat Cormier twice. So
stop. It's just the illogic will just keep spewing from your mouth with this topic. The gorilla is it's crazy. Where's mine at, homie?
Hey, y'all, shout out to the McCaffrey Protein Bites, man. Ed McCaffrey joined the show last week. And he said he's gonna hook us up, man. We got the chocolate chip cookie dough, sustainably made right here, man. If you go to the back of the other thing, you got the whole family, the whole McCaffrey family in the back, man. Luke, Christian, we got Ed, we got Wifey, we got
Where
everybody.
Christian at? Where
What
Christian?
else we got, homie? We got that birthday cake. Birthday cake.
I need a taste test. Homie.
The first day of the year.
We're gonna sponsor it. I need a taste test, homie.
Then we got my favorite right here, fudge brownie, homie.
You ain't open none of them.
Just got it last night, homie. I want to do it live on the show.
Oh, it's
Ooh,
horrible.
they smell good. Ooh, they smell good. Let me see. Fudge brownie, plant-based. Plant-based too, healthy.
I don't eat plants.
Let's see. A little like chewy. Ooh, man.
Nah, I'm not liking the review so far.
The brownie good, homie. It's a protein, right? It ain't candy. It's for protein. It's good, homie. I'm turning it up.
Let me
McCaffrey, man.
And I hope I got mine in the mail. Or maybe
yours, I don't think.
Let me ask something. Well, my mailbox I can't get in either. Got broken into.
Wow.
In the hood.
Ain't nobody scared of you no more.
You know what's funny? When comments like these pop up, the embarrassment that I get from you, homie, Lamage Wolf, is the embarrassment and the disrespect that you're gonna call Daniel Cormier, who I don't even know shit about, but I assume, Smitty, he was probably some sort of big time fighter, but he's not shit. He's weak. Who this guy says that? This is what social media and cell phones have allowed, homie. This is what it's allowed. So, I don't know, man.
Well, what do you do?
Well,
hey, listen, I don't know if Steve's coming or not, but if you look down, JB, one of our special guests is actually here early. So
yeah. Let's do it. Yes, sir. Man, I can't thank this man enough. The voice of the OKC #1 seed, OKC Thunder, play-by-play announcer, who's been there since 2007.
Wow.
And hey, look, he used to be with the Charlotte Hornets. He's been all over the NBA, the Dallas Mavericks, and all. And can't wait to dive into him. We actually have something in common that he may not know that we're going to dive into real quick. So the voice and the play-by-play announcer of the #1 seed OKC Thunder, Matt Pinto, joins the show.
Let's do it, Matt.
How you doing, brother?
Great, guys. How are you?
Let me ask you something real quick. I don't know if you knew this, but I was reading through your stuff the other day, and I was like, no way. So I played for a franchise called the Bakersfield Blitz, and we used to go to Hawaii and play the Hawaiian Islanders, where you were what?
They're play-by-play boys. Yeah.
Hey, we beat the hell out of you guys. But anyway, hey, that was some fun times, man. You guys had the trainer for your team who's like a big-time actor. He was the guy on Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, we may have missed each other a little bit. I don't even remember the years I was there. I was there for like 3 seasons. We were the Pirates affiliate then, so I don't know.
I was there I was the inaugural season of Arena 2.
Okay.
0102.
Yeah. What I remember about calling games baseball-wise there is the second day in for any visiting team, they were worth nothing. The first day they were okay. They dealt with the time change and all that, but the second day it was always like 12-1, 13-3, that kind of score. Funny.
Wow.
Yeah, no doubt. Good to have you on, man. I can't thank you enough. Obviously, I wanted to ask you real quick because we got all kind of guests on today. I wanted to ask you real quick. The Lakers lose last night in five to a young up-and-coming T-Wolves team. You guys are – the whole thing was, the Lakers can beat the OKC.
Yeah.
That's their kryptonite and blah, blah, blah. What's the biggest threat to OKC now that you're looking through this thing? Is it still Denver? Is it this young and upcoming T-Wolves team, or is it the
Warriors?
The young Houston and Warriors matchup?
Honestly, I think if it's anything, it's experience. Because the one thing we don't know about this group, given how young they are, is these will be, relatively new experiences. A lot of these guys went through this last season for the first time, got to the second round, hard-fought series with Dallas. They lost in 6. I think they came back with a lot of lessons learned that they applied this season to win 68 games, dominant in the first round against Memphis. But they know they're confronting some adversity at some point on this playoff run. And they added Isaiah Hartenstein and Alex Caruso. Those guys have been godsends for them. They've really fit in seamlessly with what the Thunder are about. But I think that's the area, Coach, is that we don't know how this team, given its relative inexperience, will handle when they're dealt adversity, because they, set historic marks this season, NBA-wise, in terms of the history of the league, in terms of point differential. So they didn't play a ton of really tight 1-2 possession games. Now, they had a couple of those in the Memphis series on the road. They handled those relatively well down the stretch. But we'll see, because they know that it gets tougher from here.
No doubt.
Yeah, no, that's real, man. And OKC has looked amazing all year long. But to your point, it seems like the one thing that everybody is, I guess, kind of, second guessing or just being hesitant is literally only experience. Because if you remove that, they look almost like flawless. Like they have fun together. They run the court. They have youth. They have depth. They have Shai Gilgeous, who's will probably be the MVP, but we shall see. They look amazing there. I guess outside of OKC, right now though, who would you say is the team like the scariest team though? Like, you think the Warriors is scary? I know they lost last night or whatever, but they didn't bring their best foot forward. I'm not really counting that. Like, who you say is the scariest team out west?
Yeah, I mean, I think that as much as this may be counter to the flow of what's being spoken and what the national narrative is, I just think a lot of people are still overlooking Denver. They've got the championship pedigree. Jamal Murray showed what he's big game capable of with the 43-point performance in Game 5 that puts them in the driver's seat now against the Clippers. And that team with Jokic, and if Murray is healthy, I know Aaron Gordon is playing through some calf stuff, and Michael Porter Jr. is kind of up and down with that shoulder. But I just think that the veteran composition of that team, and they've won it in 2023. A lot of people just forwarded the Clippers through this series thinking it may go 6 or 7, but they're the better team. They have a deeper roster. They'll persevere and win it. Denver's on the brink of being the Thunder's next opponent. So I don't think you can overlook them. I don't think, honestly, guys, and I felt this way about the Lakers going into the playoffs, they're an incomplete team. Golden State's an incomplete team. So will that come back and bite them at some point on this playoff run? Conventional wisdom is yes, but we'll see. I mean, age is an issue for the Clipper roster, for the Warrior roster. At some point, does that become a factor for either of those teams? So I think there are a lot of exciting, enticing questions to be answered in the Western Conference from here. And we've got Game 6s coming up, and we'll see how they unfold in San Francisco tomorrow night with Houston and Golden State, and tonight in LA. Clippers fighting for their lives to force a Game 7 against Denver.
Hey, Matt, I got your story's fascinating. Let me ask you, so are you a Texas boy or where are you from?
I'm from Boston originally.
Boston, okay. So you've been everywhere. Yeah. So did you go from the Clippers to Seattle to OKC when they moved, or how'd that work?
Yes. Yeah, I was with the Sonics their last season there and moved from Seattle to Oklahoma City, and I've been here since. 35 seasons in the league. I pinch myself, honestly, because that's pretty amazing when I reflect back on when this all started in Charlotte. But I've got to tell you guys, like I've never experienced a team as connected as this one is and as committed to the right things. I mean, these guys are so non-agendized about the way they approach the game. They know no better than to just compete. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says, the standings say. And as a result, they finished 16 games in front of their closest pursuer in the Western Conference in the regular season. They know, because they have used this adage in this rebuild, which only lasted about 3 seasons. Yeah. The 0-0 mentality is what served them. They come to work every day recognizing what we earn today will be ours because we put in the work and we're committed to have that happen. And that really has served them. As I say, I think they recognize there's some adversity in front of them at some point on this playoff run, and we'll see how they effectively deal with that, because they certainly have throughout the course of this season to this point. I mean, Game 3 in Memphis, they're down 29 and find a way to rally and come back and win that thing by 6.
Yeah. So in the event that OKC goes ahead and finishes, this season off, with the championship, where do you put Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in terms of just, I guess, OKC's all-time greats? Like, does he instantly just get to the top of that list, or where would you rank him personally?
Well, I mean, he's the first to say, don't talk about me in the same breath as the greats. I haven't won anything yet. when I do, those comparatives can start to surface. And I think it's the same here. I mean, Kevin Durant got this team, along with the cast that was with them in 2012, to an NBA Finals. Shea's not done that yet, and he recognizes that. But you look at the individual numbers he's put up the last 3 seasons, they're Jordan-like. I mean, 30-plus points, a steal and a half a game per season, shooting 50+% from the field. Nobody's done that since Michael did it in the repetition that he seemed to throughout the course of his career. The thing that separates the greats like Jordan from SGA is winning at the highest level. He's committed to that. He's shown incredible leadership skills and understanding what the Thunder culture is about in this reboot that went on 4 seasons ago when they traded Chris Paul and Dennis Schroeder, handed him the keys to the car. It completely unestablished as a lead guard in the NBA, played off the ball more than on the ball prior to that in his first 2 seasons. But he's just taken this and run with it. And he's got that insatiable guy's, I think, hunger to be the absolute best. He's incredibly humble in the way he approaches things. He really works to empower his teammates. And I think the best thing about what he's accomplished is his success has not come at the expense of the team. It's amplified this team.
Man,
let me ask you, Matt, is there a genre or a crew out here who separates Seattle's Supersonics and the OKC as far as when we talk about the greats? To Smitty's question, like, is there a section of the GPs and the Shaun Kemps and the Detlef Shrimps and all the greats that have come out of Seattle versus the OKC genre when it changed over? Because you've been in both. Is there like 2 separate organizations when they talk about greats, or no?
Yeah, very much. The Thunder view their history as the time that they, in essence, drove stakes in the ground in OKC versus Seattle. So they've completely separated from the history of the Sonics. In fact, if and when Seattle receives an expansion franchise, the Thunder have told them, you can have the Supersonics name if you choose to, and all of the history, because we made this move and now we're committed to establish new ground. And they've done an incredible job of that here.
Nice. No, that was just interesting. Let me ask you one question regarding LA. Because you covered the team, the Clippers. An organization who I've always called the JV team, obviously with 17 titles in LA, and the Lakers, and then they shared the arena. They used to play. I don't remember when you were there, but they used to play here in Anaheim, where the Ducks played at the Pond and all that stuff. Never really a true LA team. I know they came from San Diego. Where are you at with this organization as a whole? Like, they just can't get over the hump. I know it's funny and everyone uses the word curse, but what really is it? Because they've had legendary players. They've had unbelievable youth and athleticism, from the Ron Harper days to the Blake Griffin days to I go back to, great centers and Benoit Benjamin, who was uber talented. Stanley Roberts came with him. Like, I'm a fan of the game. So I remember all these great Clippers, Norman and Nixon, and where are they at with this particular organization? What has to happen to get them over the hump to win a title?
Well, just addressing what you're saying, our TV analyst Michael Cage was drafted by the Clippers and started his career in LA after playing at San Diego State. So he knows some of those inner workings as well. I separate the two, honestly, guys, from the Donald Sterling years to the current regime under Steve Ballmer, because Ballmer's done all he can financially to push this team away from the identity of the Lakers. Brand new arena now, the Intuit Dome in Inglewood. So he's doing, to me, everything he can. He's got a terrific coach in Tyronn Lue. He's assembled a roster. Paul George was not what he had hoped Paul George would be in LA, has moved on to Philly. But Kawhi Leonard healthy, James Harden, Ivica Zubac's emergence, they have a real roster. I mean, the roster is deep. It's defensive-minded. It can be explosive. So I think they have a shot with this group. Now, I don't know how long this group will be together. That's part of the in and out of the NBA currently and the way that Ballmer spends money. But I think that if they can find a way past the Nuggets, I think the Thunder Clipper series would be incredibly intriguing and likely go a good distance. It would be a heck of a back and forth because both teams are so good defensively. That would be one of those, it's a throwback, I think. Teams winning like 97-95.
Yeah, I would love. I actually, from a matchup standpoint, from a fan perspective, I would prefer to see those two teams match up versus the Nuggets and OKC. I just, just a matchup thing. Where, to your point, I just think it would be better games will come out of it from TV standpoint. It's funny you mentioned the Paul George thing, man. It's like I bet right now the Clippers, like in hindsight, is looking at how great Shai Gilgeous is and has become. And it's like, man, like People forget they had Shea, Kawhi, they had them right there. They in their backyard, and they just gave them up. You know.
Yeah, what's crazy is
sense.
that trade of PG to the Clippers at the time was propped up as possibly a steal for the Thunder in the sense of the 5 first-round picks they got.
Right.
Everyone overlooked. They also got Danilo Gallinari in that trade, who helped them in that first season in OKC get to the playoffs in the bubble down in Orlando in the transition from the previous iteration to the current. But yeah, Shea, I think that, Doc Rivers has said this a number of times. I really thought he'd be an all-star caliber player. I didn't think he'd be this. I didn't think he'd become a superstar the way he has. So I think everybody were misguided in their view of how good he could be, including the Thunder. The Thunder will, when the truth serum is put in them, will say the same thing. We never envisioned this, but the thing the Thunder have always done is never put a ceiling on the expectations of a player that they acquire. They want to give them the runway to kind of declare themselves as who they are. And over time, they've done a really good job, obviously, developing young talent here. And that's systematically been the case really since the outset.
No doubt. Let me ask you something real quick. The small market franchises like OKC and these other teams, and I love Oklahoma, by the way. I was always in Tulsa and OKC as I coached there in Kansas. How are they more relevant right now than a big market team like the Clippers? Again, back to the question. And then you obviously being from Boston, they're obviously this could be an OKC Boston finals for them to go 2-up on the Lakers as far as banners being hung. What's the big difference that you've been in all these markets? What is the biggest difference? Is it just resources? Is it population? Is it buy-in from outside sources? Like, what's the biggest difference in the market? Is it just media coverage?
Yeah, I think media coverage is definitely one. The Northeast is relentless, as you guys know, in terms of the religious following of teams that they have passion for. So they know their stuff. They let anybody involved in the locker rooms of teams that they're following and rooting for know that they know their stuff. And so, the Phillies, the Bostons, the New Yorks can be pretty relentless in the way that they are after and obviously critical and cynical about different things that go on. I think the biggest thing in the structure of the NBA is the Thunder sort of surrendered to this years ago. And that is, we got to make it happen through the draft. We got to develop our guys, draft them, develop them, and cultivate that sort of culture. Because unless they make significant trades, which they've done a handful of times, that's how they have to sustain. To their credit, and this is maybe homerish in sounding, but really objectively, what they've done over a period of time in a complete reboot here with a totally different team than the one that went to the NBA Finals in 12, and then to the Western Conference Finals. It had that Warrior historic great team on the brink of elimination in the Western Finals, down 3-1. The Warriors recovered and went on to lose to Cleveland in that NBA Finals. But when you look at how that's evolved here, I think you credit Sam Presti and his staff for understanding what the economics of the game are in this market size. So this is almost collegiate-like, Coach, in the sense of the amount of passion this fan base has for the Thunder, and it's statewide. So I think that sixth man is very evident. They've had that extraordinary support, but they've had 6 different Hall of Fame players come through here. If Shea's one of those, over a period of time that is 17 seasons. That's unheard of. So my point is that I think that teams in their respective markets have to recognize if they're free agent attractive places, then maybe they move their energies in that direction over time. And we've seen that consistently. If you're in a market this size, you got to make it happen through the draft. That's got to be the foundation of what you do. No matter how much TV money is out there nationally, there are markets that have an inherent advantage, even given the way the NBA has tried to level the playing field, because they're attractive as free agent destinations. Oklahoma City has not been. And so I think they go about their business in that way.
Smitty, last thing I got for Matt real quick. And you covered both of these and you know the whole ins and outs. I got to ask you, like, how – I don't know the word. How bad would it hurt the KD legacy if OKC goes out here and wins a title and KD left, getting beat by obviously LeBron. Then he goes and chases a ring with Steph and obviously wins a couple there, but then literally have been irrelevant since. Does this hurt his legacy per se as far as just what he couldn't get done? And then let's say Gilgeous-Alexander gets it done. Is that a big knock on him or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think that anybody that was with the organization or around it when he left didn't leave on the best terms. So I think that people from the outside view how would his legacy be impacted by this Thunder team hitting higher heights differently than those of us around do. Because I think immediately the sense was Kevin's going to Golden State. He won 2 rings there. He was an NBA Finals MVP twice. Good on him. It establishes his career, and he is set Hall of Fame wise, and his legacy is in stone. I think here the way that came down did not sit well. And so the sense of, well, Kevin eventually is going to have his number in the rafters and he's going to come back to great adulation just has not been the case. So I just think that, it's a hard question to answer because of that. I think that, Russ, the loyalty he showed through those years and through that period of time may have a statue here, when he retires. And when you compare the two players, you'd say Kevin Durant, historically, probably the better talent, the more sustainable talent in the NBA. But I think when you talk about Russ's legacy, that's more in line with a question like that than Kevin's is, honestly.
Ooh, so real quick, because you mentioned that point. So do you think there's a chance that we could see Russ's statue in OKC, but not see a KD statue? You think that's possible?
Absolutely. Yeah. 100%. Wow, yeah. Crazy. Russ hung through the tough times.
Yeah. I remember
very
that. Yeah.
Loyal. Yeah. To the organization. Whereas what went on with Kevin was really, a blindside situation, honestly.
But KD spent what was it, 7 or 8 years? How long did he spend before he left?
It was 8 or 9. His first 8 or 9 seasons. Yeah.
If I'm working inside OKC like facility and a team, I can understand that perspective. From like outside looking in, I'm like, man, he gave you guys 8, 9 of some of your best years.
No question.
What's the NBA Finals? Balled out, MVP. He did a lot. So where I just feel like if we remove the emotions from it, I'm like, KD without a doubt should have his jersey retired there. But I get it,
and we'll see. Maybe time heals all. I mean, we'll see. We'll see over time. Yeah.
Russ has that though. Having coached his brother in football here in LA and been around him, he has that regardless of where he goes, Matt. Right? Like everywhere he goes, he's pretty much a loyal creature, and he wants to play as hard as he can for himself. Number one, which kind of permeates throughout the team. Like he's going to give you his all, and that's kind of. You can say what you want
in Denver even now still. He just had a great game.
And guys, he's one of one. I mean, there's never been another Russell Westbrook. There never will be another because of what he brings. I mean, his competitive juices always flow, but, teammates of his, fans that follow him recognize that underneath all of that, like tough exterior is a heart of gold. I mean, he's been incredible in the community still here in Oklahoma City. He's incredible in the community in Denver. We see that all the time, the way he interacts with fans. And the guy, for his rough edges and his unwillingness at times to deal effectively with the media, that's changed a little bit. You can't deny what he's accomplished as a player, as an athlete. And he's gone through different phases of what he's capable of accomplishing and still a force when he's out there, sometimes for better, sometimes borderline worse. We've seen that in this postseason run for Denver.
No doubt. Man, I can't thank you enough. Last thing for me, who would you prefer to play out of the Houston Golden State series? A younger athletic team or a veteran, wily bunch of veterans? I know you mentioned experience is your biggest fear probably for your particular team. Would you rather see a younger team that's inexperienced right now?
My answer to that question is yes. I'd love to see the Thunder in the Western Finals. So, I mean, I don't want to look past what's in front of them in who survives the 4-5 matchup. Denver and LA. So, I mean, honestly, I'm in the water of embedded in their own approach. And that is this day, winning this day. And winning, honestly, the off days in the playoffs, because they've had now 3 different extended stretches where they've had off time. They've got to find a way to effectively navigate. So they're ready to go Monday or Tuesday for game 1 of the Western semifinals.
No doubt. Man, Matt, good luck to you guys, man. I know you're there now calling them and do a great job. Thank you so much for hopping on with us. Hopefully we can get you back on maybe if you guys are in the finals and hopefully playing your home team, Boston.
That'd be fun.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you, brother. Can't thank you enough. Thank you. Matt Pinto, the voice of the OKC Thunder. Shout out. Man, from one legend to another, let's bring in our legend. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Gems, the Korean Cosell himself, the co-host of Whitlock's Fearless and 3 Knockdown Rule with Mario Lopez, Steve Kim joins us.
Ooh, Steve.
Man.
Give me your go ahead. Just lay into
Can I go
LA.
back to being a Laker fan? 'Cause right now I'm a Laker fan in recess. And by the way, that game really should not have been that close. If Minnesota just has an average shooting game from 3-Pointville,
yeah.
And I actually watched most of this game. They should have been attacking that rim relentlessly.
Yeah.
And the Lakers have an issue. Is Luka really a guy that can really win you a title being that bad on one side of the field? He's an absolute pylon.
No.
I mean, a pylon.
No.
So
You'd have to have so much
really surround him with athletes. You really are that can guard the rim, and you have to hide him so much on one side of the floor. And I get it. Larry Bird and Magic weren't great defensive players. Again, the spacing is different. And I know this from watching almost every Magic game for about a decade. Magic was not a great defensive player, but he gave an effort. I don't think Luka gives an effort. And one thing Magic really understood is team defense principles and concepts. You actually can't find that many games where Magic got killed. Really, you can't defensively.
9 blow-bys in one game is crazy work, as the youngsters would say. Crazy work. Here's what I say to your point. You got to surround – the difference between like a Tatum and Luka to me is one guy gives effort on defense. He's obviously in better shape looking and more athletic, obviously. But we've seen the guys like Luka win, like Larry Bird and all that. But you got youth around you that are wing perimeter defenders who could get you extra opportunities. And what I don't like about Luka is he just sits out there and jacks them, and he refuses to drive to the rim and get some action. And why didn't we attack Gobert, who had 20 and 27 or whatever? I don't understand why we didn't make him play defense, Smitty.
You were small.
You were so small, yeah.
But I'm saying at least make him play defense at the rim on one side so he doesn't just dominate on the offensive glass on the other end. I'm like, wear him out. We didn't do anything.
JJ Redick found out one thing. It's easy to be a guy doing a podcast, sipping on Cabernet with all the answers. But when you actually have accountability at your doorstep and it is your decisions, it's not as easy as it looks. And I've always said, coaching, we all second guess. But here's the thing. Our jobs aren't on the line. And look, he didn't do a terrible job. He actually got some wins out of this team.
Yeah.
But the last couple of days, he has showed his ass.
Let me ask you guys both. I want to dive into that real quick before we move on to some real sport. Smitty and Steve, I got to ask you guys, like, what let me ask you, I guess the arrogance or whatever you want to call it. I'm all for arrogance as a head coach. I'm be the first one to tell you. I'm not going to hide and say you shouldn't be cocky and arrogant as a head coach and do it your way, because that's your job. That you sit in that chair for a reason. So I'm not even knocking JJ for talking shit and being the guy he is on the podium and all that. But to spite people you don't like and do something that ends up ultimately hurting your team that you're the leader of, that's where the inexperience as a coach showed me. That's what showed me the most. I'm going to at least say, hey, man, you know what? Kleiber probably shouldn't be the first big off the bench. He hasn't played since January, and he hasn't even practiced with this particular team. This is his first game. Right past Jackson Hayes and other guys who at least give you effort, even though he's little and small. They wouldn't have allowed Gobert to do what he did, at least if you just put a long athletic guy in Jackson Hayes on him. To me, the arrogance is to spite the media when he got up and walked out, and Reggie Miller even said he had to talk to him because he was going like, what are we doing?
He is very lucky that the media nowadays is soft, that there's not a guy like Peter Vesey or even a Mark Heisler.
Yeah.
Because when he said, are you trying to say I'm inexperienced? I would have flat out said, yeah, it was a rookie move and you cost your team a game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But these guys are so afraid. Guys,
and LeBron scores 3 points.
All the Fame fighters hate me and didn't want to talk to me. I've said, that's fine. My life is good. I don't need you to shout me out. I don't need you to be friendly because I'm still going to write about you. If JJ Redick would have done something like that to a more experienced, seasoned, tough reporter, there would have been a real interesting thing because I would have said, yeah, it's a rookie move. It's
you can tell that guy was young. You can hear his voice. Son, he was a young kind of shaky.
Like this, like, bro,
I know.
Like, calm down.
I know.
Calm down, Dookie. Like,
Like his obligation, Smitty, is as a head coach in football, NFL, NBA. I know they all have contractual obligations to address the media. Now you got to just go out there. You can walk away, but you have to be out there and address. Like, remember we saw Marshawn get fined, right, for the whole clickbait thing that I'm just here, so I'm not fined. Here's the issue. But don't act like you're the fucking inventor of basketball when you're up there. That's the part that people get mad at.
You got no resume.
And then you got Duke Blue Devil, dick writers and Jay Williams and all these guys defending every move he makes, which is more embarrassing for that network. And I can't wait to get Shaun King back.
I think these young reporters are such slaves to access.
Yeah, they are.
Honestly. I don't get it. You're not really supposed to be their friends, guys. And I get it. You might get cut off, but you could still write about these guys.
That is a great point because these youngsters just want to be around it. They don't really want to ask anything.
Even the tone. Hey, JJ, I'm not saying that, but like you didn't, I know, but
you didn't want to offend them at all, right?
I would have said, JJ, are you going to substitute this game? Or I would have been friendlier, but as soon as he does this, I'd be like, oh, okay, JJ.
Go time. Yeah, go time.
Don't give me a reason.
I would have said, yeah, because I think you blew the game. Yes, I think your inexperienced show and you cost yourself a game. That is what I am saying, JJ.
Yeah. And in reality, you saying that would actually create a bigger moment too. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying like JJ's going to respond to that. It's going to actually make a bigger story for you, honestly. So it's
but Smitty, isn't the big picture? Aren't these coaches that are coaching now, like I talk about every day, Mike McDaniel and the tight skinny jeans and the vape, and aren't they the same fucker as the young little pussy asking the question? They're the same guys now. The coach and the announcer and the reporter are exactly the same people now. So that's what's crazy part about it. Like, you know how like the OGs are gone. Like, I'm just telling you, the OGs are gone, man.
Like Belichick is finding out when you cannot control the media. With the way he won the last 10 years, the Boston, New England media was not going to press him. But
you're the champ. Yeah.
And then, Nick Saban at Alabama, because it's a college town, and he was the big man on campus, literally. Right. People were afraid to press him. And because they wanted him to be nice. And look, there are times that Nick Saban and Bill Belichick were just complete dicks. I would have just been a smart ass too. And I said, I'm not going to get an interview. That's fine. Just give me the quotes. I can cut and paste. I can create a story. I don't need you to be my best friend. I really don't. I've always said, play the game, say a few things. I'll create a story. I'm good. Right. Honestly, I think not having access is actually more powerful. You know why? The handcuffs are off. They truly are. But these guys are so afraid of not being liked or getting their credentials cut off. And my view is this. You could watch a basketball game and you could still report on it. I think that is a little bit different. It's easy for me to say. But to just roll over like that, it's like, good grief. Really?
Hey, Smitty, before we dive in and you take over for the questions with Steve before he gets out of here, I got to ask Steve real quick before we dive into General Hospital Stephen A. I want to ask Steve. Steve, you got a running back edition there in Miami. Good looking kid. Looks like Ashton Genty, body type from, I believe, one of the Dakotas.
North Dakota State. Marty Marr.
Give us some insight. Give us some insight on what the Hurricanes got.
A good downhill, north-south runner, a little bit of wiggle. He's going to be the third back. Miami's numbers are low at running back. And look, if you have aspirations of playing deep, you're going to need more than two primary backs. You probably need three, and you need four that you can play with. Now, in the Miami system, the air raid, you're going to have to do a little pass pro. But look, the first two backs are going to be Mark Fletcher and Jordan Lyle. They have a very speedy young freshman coming in, Pringle. Problem with Pringle, he's a little bit light. Don't know if they trust him in pass pro. He'll be a player. But Marty Marr is going to be a guy, in my view, third and fourth quarter, when you need to move the chains, if you're grinding the clock, he can move a pile. I don't know if he's Genty. Now, Genty he's a legitimate 4-3, 4-4 guy. Brown probably is not that. The thing that I like about this particular, and I'm going to call it what it is, an acquisition of talent, is that he's a 3-year eligibility player. So, that's going to be important. Although he redshirted, had a very good last year. So if he somehow just explodes this upcoming season, he could theoretically declare for the draft. Okay, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but Miami needed a third running back for that rotation, and he fits the bill.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Go ahead,
Well,
Steve.
we shall see. We shall see, man. Well, let's down to this rundown here that Young Bailey put together for us, man. And you already teased it, JB. I guess Stephen A. Smith was on General Hospital, killing a crooked nurse, and apparently this scene has gone viral. I haven't seen it yet, so let's check this out real quick.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm gonna need to see some ID. ID. Now.
Of course.
Oh man, that's worse than your fucking short film on YouTube, Smitty.
My short film was amazing. My acting was amazing in my short film. Look how you pulled the pistol out, real like.
Oh yeah, dog, this shit is a comical. And then he was on last night. I know, Steve, you've heard this, and he was up there with Cuomo and all, and he was like, Trump said you should be a presidential candidate. I mean,
I agree.
Trump
I hope
said
he is. I hope him and Jazzy Jazz Cratchit. I hope they are the party ticket. Please.
No, Paris, it wasn't
I'm
a skit.
begging.
That was a
show. As a conservative, yes. I want the Democrats. Please do that.
Trump said he's a very smart man. He knows how to market people. I think he should run.
I agree.
Here's the video. Here you go.
Stephen A. Smith may run for president, as you know. Do you have any advice for Stephen A. If he launches the run?
No, Stephen A. He's a good guy. He's a smart guy. I love watching him. He's got great entertainment skills, which is very important. People watch him. You know, a lot of these Democrats I watch, I say they have no chance. I've been pretty good at picking people and picking candidates, and I will tell you, I'd love to see him run.
All right, there you go.
Picking candidates.
Hey, this has got to be like the biggest. I heard Whitlock a little bit. It's like a setup. It's like the Holy Ghost setup, man. Like why is he
Whitlock
up there?
Called this last year, and Mr. President, I agree with you. I want him to run too. Please let this happen.
Do you guys think Trump? Obviously, we know. I know how Steve is saying it. Do you think Trump is saying it like
trolling him,
or do you think Trump is actually kind of like? I don't know his relationship with Stephen A. Like, are they cool in real life? Are they cordial or?
I don't know, but he also endorsed Shador Sanders. Yeah. Hey, he out there. He trying to get y'all. He trying to get y'all back on the side.
Who's y'all?
You.
Hey, by the way, it was nice of Shador to visit the elementary school yesterday. But this is my point.
That's what fifth rounders do.
Well, no, I mean, I'm going to be serious about that. That was a nice gesture, but here's the problem. If you would have put your best foot forward during the actual process, you wouldn't have been a fifth rounder. That's the thing that gets me. It's like everyone's applauding him, and I'm like, no. You should have been doing that the previous 4.5 months.
Yeah, there's all kinds of shit coming out now. Everybody's coming out now.
I shouldn't say it. I did. You're not stopping me. So, but it is the truth, ultimately.
Dan Patrick's show. Everybody's coming out now talking about how he slighted people on interview. Like everyone's coming out now.
I have a question. So all of a sudden now unnamed sources are okay.
That's Smitty and I's point. Like now all of a sudden you put your name. That's
because that point was always bullshit though. But Coach, I'll completely disagree with you. That point is bullshit because you say a lot of stuff and you don't say this coach told me. No. You always say I had guys tell me. Coach, we all do it. We got to stop the bullshit.
Yeah. No. Here's my point. Yeah, I agree. Here's my point.
Unless you want to be that guy and say, you know what, I gotta. Mario Cristobal texted me here, guys, and this is what you guys are dick. Coach, we all do it. So let's get
No. I'm not saying we don't. Here's what I don't do it and keep it though. Like, why now are you coming out on shows? Why didn't you do the shows when
Well, no, but remember the outrage was before the draft, though.
No, that's my point. Right, but why am I been the only one who's been saying he isn't this guy for 2 years, and now I've been labeled a hater? I'm saying I've been labeled a hater, and all the unnamed sources now are coming out. If they would have came out earlier, I wouldn't be the only hater.
The guys that are really coming out are the guys that have the sources, like Albert Breer, Pelissaro. guys that I like. Now, I love Rich Eisen, but Jesus, he's had like 10 guys on to explain this, and every interview he's like, I just don't get it. Rich, you've had 10 guys explain it, bro.
At some point, you got to listen.
Yeah.
Like, you literally, like, seriously, and I like Rich, and I've been listening. I'm like,
Yeah.
Rich, you've had 10 different people tell you why he slid, and you're still saying, I just don't get it. You don't? Really? Then Rich, move on, turn the page.
But then you got Mel Kiper and everybody else like defending it still. That's the crazy part. Like I just
see that many people defending it.
He's not allowed to defend it. That's why I be saying champion.
No. What I'm saying is you got the Mel Kipers of the world who still are standing out there as if this guy got fucked. That's
Coach,
the issue.
Mel Kiper is trying to defend his own ranking.
Exactly.
You know.
Right. You can always do that. So
hey, Steve, real quick.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Real quick. Andrew Luck, Stanford, you cover college football and you know a lot more than anyone else. Andrew Luck, basically, Stanford's in dismay, in my opinion.
Dismay?
I said it wrong, I guess, the other day. They're in dismay with the fact that they can't
I think
get
disarray is the word you're looking for, but yeah.
both ways. Yeah, I think
Cal, I don't know what's going on up
they're
there.
in both.
I think they're disarray and dismay. Andrew Luck's calling ticket holders himself. I don't know if you've seen this.
Oh my God!
That was a video.
The general manager of Stanford football. How are you? I'm really well. I appreciate your support over the past years as a season ticket member, and I am calling to hope you consider renewing your season tickets. Yeah, thank you. It's an odd number. I'm calling from our ticket office, actually. He might recognize my name. We have an incredible home schedule, probably highlighted by Cal and Notre Dame at the end of the season. I know I'm excited to be back at Stanford. I think our prospects are looking up. Our team is trending absolutely in the right direction. They've been putting a lot of work in. Awesome. Well, we appreciate it. It is important, as you know, to get all of our alum excited and we're working on getting our students out and making sure, this is a winning program and one that promotes community and celebration for all of us.
I like this, man. I like.
Is this a skit? Is it a skit?
No, this is real deal. He doesn't have to do this, but he wants
exactly. It's a skit.
But he said, "I'm all in. I'm all in. Yeah, I'm the GM. Yeah, I'm Andrew Luck, but I want to truly get us back to a winning program. I want to get season ticket holders to renew. So he's willing to do the groundwork to go out here and make it happen. I like it, Steve.
Is that a live call? Because I know Miami in the past had voice messages from like, hey, I'm such and such player, and it's a kind of voice activated thing that they sent out. I don't know. Look, Stanford's never been what I'd call a rabid fan base, even during the Harbaugh years, unless it was a big game. And look, they're probably doing that for social media. I get the sense he's not doing that 9 hours a day. I would hope not.
Cold calling.
Hey, Steve, yeah, cold calling. I mean, one of those guys was an Indianapolis Colt fan.
I'd have been honest.
It might get bad.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, hey, you know, I'm actually from Indianapolis, and man, you fuck and just hang up on that. That'd be hilarious if that would be a viral moment.
Hey, I'd be straight honest. I'd have been like, hey, man, all that money you stole in Indy, can you pay for my tickets? That's what I would ask them. Will you pay for my tickets?
We still haven't recovered.
Exactly. Out here begging.
Daniel Dimes.
It's a bad look. You're begging. I don't give a shit. You're begging for.
I don't call it begging.
I don't know. Nate, real quick, Steve. Tank Johnson had a lot to do with this on pushing this narrative, but Nate Robinson, who you got to see fight and get knocked out in his debut, began weekly dialysis treatments in 21 after receiving.
He got his kidney, right?
Yeah, last week he went under surgery, had successul transplant. Shout out to Nate, to Big Nate Robinson. What an athlete! Washington played corner, was a actual,
His dad was a Rose Bowl MVP in the early '80s, Jacques Robinson. And literally, he didn't do anything else the rest of his career. He won it as a freshman, and then he never got in shape. But he was a good running back. And wasn't Nate about 5'9" and winning dunk contests?
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing. Multiple. Explosive athlete,
freak athlete, competes. Yeah,
man. Shout out to Nate. Hopefully, he gets through this thing because that's a tough surgery to replace a kidney, man. That's a tough thing on the body. I know that. So shout out to him, man.
1,000%. Shout out to his, his donor. I think Shane Cleveland, I believe is his name, actual kidney donor. So shout out to him as well.
Shout out. shout out to Tank Johnson for actually pushing this. Had to go out and start this whole campaign up. Played together, I think. Let me ask you, Steve, real quick before we move on, because we got JT the Brick after you.
That's a legend. Legendary.
I don't think a lot of
sports talk caller and now host.
Yes. No, a lot of cats don't. Smitty wasn't born when JT was out here doing his thing. But real quick, Steve, I want to ask you. Yesterday we had Lindell White on.
Yeah.
And I know you probably have seen what he said, but
that interview,
you are one of the guys who have come out and said that Miami Hurricane team. And Lindell made some valid points. I wish you were on with him. And he's willing to come. He wants to come. He wants to come on. He wants to come on during the week now.
But let's play it though real quick for the fans who didn't watch, and so Steve can hear and get his reaction.
Talking about college football, I'm going my Trojans. See, what people try to get into is they talk about all the Hall of Famers in that class.
Right.
I respect that, and I get it. But if we're talking about just football and stats, if you go look at my stats, I have more touchdowns. I've already did this. McGahee, Clinton Portis. I have more touchdowns than them in college combined. So what are we talking about?
Fuck it, cook.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Talk about it.
I think the only problem we have on that team is Shaun T. And then my guy, rest in peace to Sean Taylor, one of the greatest football players I've ever seen play football. I can't lie. But I think it would have been a bang out. That same team lost to fucking Ohio State with Maurice Clarett now. See, the NFL, they got me. I can't front. The Miami boys, I'll give them that. I'll talk to the DJ, and we talk about it all the time, but then they always want to point out, well, we have Hall of Fame, and I respect that. But I'd be like, y'all the same team that lost to Ohio State, too, with them same players. So it's like, you can lose. We had 2 Heisman Trophy winners on the same team. We had Biletnikoff winners. We had Mackey Award winners. And then if they want to do that, you got to remember Clay, Bray,
Tupo.
all those. These were freshmen when we were balling.
Yeah, Cushing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And Loftus and Tupo. We had a on. I think people just think that they would have came in there and just whooped us. Like, what were they gonna do on offense? Ken Dorsey would have got his ass ate. Man, stop playing like that, Paul.
Yeah, that big Keith Rivers and Cedric Ellis.
Come on now, these are first round draft picks.
Steve, real quick, I know you cover that team in totality, in full coverage mode, and now you know the SC greats too. He's talking just college in perspective, real quick, just college-wise. Does he make a point at least about the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I guess, but I'm not going to lie to you. The 2001 team, the big advantage SC has, if there is one, we had Larry Coker, they had Pete Carroll. That's an advantage for SC. I'll be the first to tell you that.
That's my.
I actually thought the 2000 Miami team was better than 2001, believe it or not.
Yeah, you said that.
That team had Dan Morgan, and then it had Santana Moss, Reggie Wayne. Now, the team that lost to Ohio State was 2002. That was not a good team, to be honest with you. That's when I started to see there's some cracks here. I don't like it, and it's not going to hurt us now, but it hurts down the line. But the reality is, if you actually look roster for roster in terms of what they did in the NFL, which actually shows you how good they were, Miami, that roster is as good as any that ever played. And there was no transfer portal back then. The 2019 LSU team's unbelievable. That SC team's very good. The team that would have given the 2001, I think the toughest matchup in my view, 95 Nebraska.
Yeah, that's a team that a
the
lot
way
of people
they played the game. And when people talk about all-time great college quarterbacks, and if I don't hear the word Tommy Frazier, I just say, let me just step out. I'm going to walk away because this is not a serious discussion.
And
if
Steve,
you're going to put
that
in
team,
Tim Tebow, which I don't disagree with, you better put in Tommy Frazier.
That team,
I think he's the greatest winner in college football history. Look the record up. If the referees don't play a part in that 94 Orange Bowl, Tommy Frazier goes back to back to back. Nobody ran that system better. Nobody was tougher. Nobody had more skill within that system. And he could actually throw the ball a little bit. And that run against Florida when he ran over 9 Gators and had half that team giving up and he ran 60 some odd yards down. This is one of the greatest plays I've ever seen. Shout out to Tommy Frazier, the pride of Bradenton, Florida. But that's the team with their style of play, I think would have really given Miami the most amount of fits out of anybody.
And I don't think anyone talked. They beat the number 2 team that year by 35, and I don't think they had a
62-24.
And they didn't have a game closer than 14 all year. I don't believe
the 95 black shirt defense. If you look at their 2 deep, they had about 16 guys in the NFL. They had Jared Tomich, Grant Whitstrom, Jay Foreman, Michael Booker, Terrell Farley was a rover back. Who else? They had Mike Brown. They had the Peter brothers. I mean, they had guys coming off, and then they had young Amon Green was the backup to Lawrence Phillips when Phillips had issues. But that's the team that I really, if I was a boxing manager, I'd be like, that's the one that's the southpaw I don't want to face.
And the 08 Gator team, Urban Meyer team was loaded as well. There's been great teams. You can't compare them, but the Nebraska team was special. I haven't watched them. And then you run in triple inside Veer under center and things that they did under play action with that. Osborne, one of the greatest college coaches ever. I think.
But here's the thing about Dorsey. He's basically a right-handed version of Leinart.
Yeah, he was. Same skill set. No big arm.
There's not a single USC team that played a defense like the 2001 Miami. There really isn't. That whole secondary went basically 3 of the 4 guys went first round. All of them got drafted. And the greatest safety who ever played, Edward Reed. The best cornerback we had was Phillip Buchanan. I think he's in the Mount Rushmore of Miami cornerbacks. Linebackers, DJ Williams, Jonathan Vilma, and then the other guy was Howard Clark out of New Jersey. He was a decent player. And then inside, I guarantee you, USC, they played Tommy Harris, but he wasn't Vince Wilfork.
Woo!
He wasn't William Joseph.
Woo!
Cedric Ellis was no joke. Cedric Ellis was legit in college.
Man.
And then the Miami offensive line, 4 of the 5 played in the NFL, and they had the Outland Trophy winner in Bryant McKinney, who I think should have been a better pro, but he got caught up in some stuff, wasn't as focused as he should have been, but he's one of the best left tackles. Not as good as Orlando Pace. That's the best I've ever seen. And then in terms of the running back, people forget, Frank Gore was just a freshman on the 2001 team, blew out his knee in spring ball in 2002, so he didn't play against Ohio State. But the starting backfield, because Najee Davenport got banged up late. He had an NFL career. But the starting backfield in the 2002 Rose Bowl, I was at that game, it was Willis McGahee playing fullback, and then Clinton Portis was our tailback.
That's insane.
Jeremy Shockey was our tight end. So, again, I don't have to – I expect Lendell to say SC is going to win. Okay? The problem is, though, there are many years when Sonny Cumbie or Cliff Kingsbury was the leading passer at Texas Tech. Was they really the best quarterback?
Woo!
We've also seen all these Heisman Trophy winners be
Steve
busted.
talking that talk right now. Steve talking that talk.
But again, they had Pete Carroll and my uncle, Norm Chow. We had Larry Coker.
It would have been a good game. It would have been a good game.
Yeah, college
But
game.
that 95 Nebraska
game,
team, when
That
people
Nebraska
say,
team
they
was
the
loaded.
best team ever, I don't get. I say, you know what? I actually don't push back on it that much. I really don't. That 95 Nebraska team was an absolute machine.
Nah, they were.
I mean, and by the way, if you watch that Fiesta Bowl, which I've done a few times, there were times they actually went 5 wide empty.
I know.
They actually went 5 wide empty, and the greatest play call ever. They're blowing them out. They go 5 wide empty. Frazier's back there, and they ran a quarterback draw for 15. I mean, Frazier in today's game would actually be better because they'd actually allow him the RPO read option, and they'd be a lot more freedom in terms of what he could do as a runner. I think Tommy Frazier is one of the best 10 football players I've ever seen at the collegiate level.
No doubt.
Shout out to Tommy Frazier.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Steve, you on Whitlock?
I am on Whitlock, and then I'm headed to Vegas. Going to watch the Monster Inoue on Sunday. A lot of boxing on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Man, that's
Inoue fights, and then I'll be back.
Boxing all weekend. I'm watching. I'm tuning in.
Boxing Palooza 2025.
Well, be safe. Have fun in Vegas. Don't do anything too crazy, Steve.
Talk to you guys. Have a great weekend.
Later. Steve Kim, everybody.
Steve Kim, Steve Kim, clap it up. Clap it up.
Our next guest, man, is a legend, man. Brick at Night on Sirius XM on Mad Dog Sports Radio. He hosts the show right now and covers all things Raiders, Vegas, West Coast legend, man. Can't thank him enough for popping in here. JT the Brick, man.
Yeah.
JT. Oh, I can't hear you.
JT, we can't hear you for some reason.
I think you're muted.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Can't hear you. Let me see. Let's see if Bailey can hear me. No,
still can't hear him.
Muted. Let's see if Bailey can get him.
Maybe our producer can contact you and try to see.
Right now, I think he unmuted it.
Well, it wasn't muted in the first place. He's probably got to connect his mic.
Got you.
Yeah. How about now?
Yeah.
Oh, we got
There
you.
we
We
go.
got you. We got you. Yeah.
Hey, there we go, brother. How you doing, brother? How you doing? Been a while.
I could not be better. And by the way, to hear Steve Kim, who I've known, we've been to 100 fights together, go that deep on Miami football, man, that was a knowledge blast that woke me up out west.
Hey,
he loves the U. He loves them.
Yeah, Steve's Steve's like, we call him the Korean Cosell for a reason now.
He knows
So,
everything.
Hey, JT, tell everybody, man. Everyone, I don't know if a lot of the youngsters in the chat here, we got about 5,000 people watching overall. Where'd you get your start? I know a lot of people know you from being on Jim Rome as the early days and getting that going and everything else. Explain your start kind of to everybody real quick before we dive into some topics.
I grew up in New York, and I moved out west as a stockbroker. I was working at Merrill Lynch and had a good career going there. And then I started listening to sports talk radio heavily. The Jim Rome show launched out west. I started getting in my Porsche because I was making money as a stockbroker. If you saw the movie Boiler Room, not Wolf of Wall Street, Boiler Room, that movie was not only about my crew, it was about my crew within the crew. So if you go back and watch that movie, you'll kind of get a backstory of what I was doing. And then I just became a caller, guys. That was it. And Jim Rome, his show blew up. He had a contest at the time, which was American Idol for sports radio. Before American Idol, I won it. And then I had to make a big decision. What was I going to do? And I left my job as a stockbroker. I moved to Vegas, started doing overnight radio from midnight to 5, became the co-host of the Pete Rose Show with, God rest his soul, Pete Rose. And then in 1998, the Raiders heard me on at night, taking all these calls from Raider fans. And they hired me over 28 years ago to be their pre and post game host. And I've been with the team ever since and syndicated. Now I'm on Sirius XM Mad Dog for the last 6 or 7 years and living in Vegas and living the dream, man. Talking to listeners and watching games like the Lakers lost last night and having an opportunity to talk to you about it. That's an amazing story, though, by the way. Like a story of faith. My man, like you had a great career, making all types of money, didn't have any reason that, logically people would say to leave that job. You followed your dream, and like you said, 30 plus whatever years later, you're doing it still at a high level. That's incredible, man. Yeah,
and being a New Yorker.
Let me go. Yeah, and the fate part about it, I'm happy you said that, was really the key to my whole life. I met my wife walking into a Rolling Stones concert because I was in Vegas, because I won that smack off and I got in radio. My kids wouldn't be born if I didn't win that smack off. So I'm a big believer, guys, in fate. It's really been the blessing of my life that when one door opens, you go through it, and a door closes. For the young people here in the chat, if a door closes and you're like, wow, what's going to happen with my career or job? Kick the effing door down and go through it and start something new. And I'm a testament to that.
Amazing. No doubt. Great story. Let me ask you something before we talk about these Lakers. Talk about the transition real quick from, Oakland, LA, all the time, all the stops, and then Vegas being, not necessarily having a football fan base, so to speak. Now, obviously, the entertainment capital of the world. What's been the transition? What's the fan base been like? What's the kid, Max Crosby there, obviously. Lonnie Johnson now, one of my former players, is there with you guys now, long corner safety. What's the transition been like going to Vegas and playing there in that crazy, unbelievable stadium and all the things that are going on in Vegas? Have they fully bought in there in Vegas?
Yeah, what's interesting about it, guys, is first off, it's been hard on the Raider Nation all these years, to be in Oakland. We never wanted to leave Oakland. No one ever wanted to leave Oakland. Oakland politics are the absolute worst in the history of sports. Not politics. I'm not here to talk politics, but sports politics. So the Raiders got run out of Oakland. Mark Davis tried to keep them there. It didn't work. And now look at this thing. I think we went from 31st in revenue to top 3. That's hard to do in any sport. When the Raiders left Oakland, they were worth about $1.89 billion. Now they're worth $7 billion, going on $8 billion. Man. And the stadium is immaculate. The problem is a lot of fans are getting in the stadium because you guys would know, if your team's playing in Vegas for the first time in your life, you're going to go to Vegas. And if you're a season ticket holder, unfortunately, and you got 8 or 9 games and you can sell one game
and make $3 or $4 grand and pay for half of your PSL in your season. That's happening. But Raider Nation is global. And as you guys know, and Coach, being with your track record, this is a global fan base. It's one of the few global fan bases in the NFL. There's Raider Nation in Tokyo. There's Raider Nation in Brazil. They're everywhere, and they're just waiting for Pete Carroll, Tom Brady, Chip Kelly to light this thing up with Ashton Genty, Geno Smith, Brock Bowers, Max Crosby. And the Raiders had one hell of a draft. I'm not saying they're going to the Super Bowl, but they turned the corner, and this is the rebirth on the field. So the Raiders, who play Kansas City as tough as anybody, now the Raiders can maybe get some mojo going and get more of their own fans in the seats.
You got me fired up right now. So let me ask you this. Will the Raiders, or can the Raiders actually win the AFC West this year? Can they do it?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at the blueprint of the Commanders of last year. Raiders had the same record as the Commanders last year, but they had Jaden Daniels. Raiders have Geno Smith, 70% completion percentage, 4,200 yards. They got a guy that makes really good decisions. Can you go from losing 10 in a row and winning 4 games to the AFC Championship game? Probably not, but the Commanders did that last year. They did it. So that model, with all due respect to Dan Quinn, all due respect to that organization, that's not Pete Carroll. So Pete Carroll's got the infrastructure now to go do it. So I think the Raiders are going to have a really good season this year. I'm not here to predict wins, but over the next 2 years after that, within the next 3 years, I think the Raiders are competing for a Super Bowl in Vegas. Raider Nation unite.
Hey, I'm a Pete guy. Knowing Pete for a long, long time, I got to say, he's got a 3-year plan for success. That's what I've modeled my coaching career after, the 3-year plan for success. How you approach year 1 is what you do. You create a culture, you build it. Year 2, you win something, you get close, and then win year 3, obviously, you win it all. At his age, obviously, I believe his 3-year plan for success is critical, and that's why you're seeing what he did with the moves, obviously, in the draft, trading down a few times, and everyone was like, what are they doing? It worked out beautifully. He got a 6'2.5", 6'3" corner out of Iowa who he loves long corners. We saw him take a D2 corner in Seattle a few years ago. Nobody wanted. He loves long corners. Lonnie Johnson, my former kid, 6'4" with ball skills. So he loves those guys in the back row. You add that with Max, and you already got a hell of a D tackle. Your D-line's going to get better. And I believe the best tight end in football already in Brock Bowers. So with Geno and that, I just think you're missing what? Outside guys? Wide out?
Yeah, receivers probably.
Yeah, well, no, they got 2. I really was blown away with what they did in the draft. They got Besh. Remember, the kid's older brother died in the terrorist attack. What a beast he is. Yeah. And then the 6'5", receiver out of Tennessee that dropped to him in the 4th round. So I think they got some height and some speed. They got Jacoby Myers. They got Trey Tucker. I think they're going to be pretty good after the draft at what they got at wide receiver. They still got $40 million left in space to go get it. But Coach, I'm going to go back to you because you know Pete Carroll. I'm just getting to know him. This competition, Pete stuff, is legit. So he's taking players. You mentioned Lonnie Johnson, Jeremy Chin from the Commanders coming in. They lost a couple of good players on defense. I think Pete Carroll, from everything I studied over his career, he's going to tell an undrafted corner and a 3-year corner, you're on tape every day at practice. Whoever outplays who is going to play for me. And I love that about Pete Carroll. Everybody other than Max and Geno and Ashton Genty. And as you know, the Raiders got Raheem Mostert, who led the NFL in touchdowns a couple of years ago behind Genty. They got a completely different team now with Chip Kelly. So if they can come out there and flip this thing, when Josh McDaniels took over, okay, he had 6 effing Super Bowl rings, 6, and called the majority of the Brady plays. I give him credit for that. But we're sitting here with quarterbacks like Jimmy Garoppolo and Gardner Minshew, and Aiden O'Connell's a good backup quarterback. But now a running game with Bowers and some receivers and the ability to turn the ball over, the Raiders will have a chance. I'll wrap it up with the Raiders with that part with Pete by saying this. If the Raiders are in a game with 5 minutes left to go and they're up 3 or up 6, Genty can run the game out. On 2nd and 8, he can go 12 yards, stay in bounds, keep that clock going. Geno can do a little 3-yard in route to Brock Bowers, little head fake. He's up for 11 yards. The Raiders can hold on to the ball instead of punting. and letting Justin Herbert or Mahomes go the length of the field and steal a game from them.
And they still got the back from last year, right? What's his name? The running back.
They'll have
Zamir White, right?
You're talking about White running back, Zamir White.
Zamir White. Yeah. I still think he's a physical guy.
So, he is. And by the way, last year I went into training camp and we're sitting here going, man, the Raiders got Zamir White with fresh legs out of Georgia. What is this guy going to do? And then the offensive line really couldn't open up. Offensive line couldn't open up many holes. But look, the Raiders aren't here to win the Super Bowl, but Pete Carroll, and remember, guys, it's a really deep conversation. Brady's in the building.
Yes,
and I've been with the team 28 years. I don't know what he's doing, but I know it's big. And he's a minority owner. He's not a consultant. This ain't a guy dropping in going, hey, let's have lunch at Caesars. I'll give you a couple of notes. This is a guy who's in the building. You throw that in there with Chip Kelly, Patrick Graham, who you know, and some really good coaches here. I just think they're on the right track, which is great.
Is the AFC West the best conference in football?
Yeah, I'd say that, Coach, or the AFC North. I mean, if you're in the North, you know, Cleveland's going to eventually turn this around. But the AFC West, when Pete Carroll walks out of the tunnel and goes to the 50-yard line, he can say to Andy Reid, I beat you multiple times. He can say to Sean Payton, I beat you multiple times. You better believe you can say to Harbaugh, I beat you more than you beat me from SC all the way to the Seahawks. So we got a guy now with some gravitas walking out on the midfield going, hey, I've been here before. And Antonio Pierce was really good. He was really fired up to try to win for the Raiders. Unfortunate it didn't work for him. He had those guys running through the wall, but Pete Carroll's at a different level now, and we hope he can turn it around out here in Vegas.
Man, they definitely have the most experienced, high-level coaches in the AFC West. I know we talked about, the NFC North as well, JB, as far as one of those really good divisions with, the Lions, Packers, et cetera. So, hey, man, you got me fired up, JT. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm ready to run through a brick
Hey, we
wall.
need it, man. We need something, man. We've been Raider Nation is hungry, man. You see Violator and Gorilla Rilla and the makeup on, and they go in there and they are ready to roll. And this goes back to Oakland. Sunday and Monday, I was the MC for Fred Biletnikov's Hall of Fame golf tournament. There were 13 Hall of Famers there. And you had the 3 Super Bowl MVPs in the same room: Biletnikoff, Marcus Allen, Jim Plunkett, Steve Largent, Charlie Joyner, John Taylor, Tim Brown. And everybody's walking around with a little bit more energy, thinking that the Raiders got this thing back on the path. That's all you want, guys. You know football great. You guys know it as good as anybody. You just want to be on the right path so you can build something big and then hopefully have a shot in the postseason.
Yes, sir.
JT, Vegas is got a lot to talk about right now. You got the Vegas Knights who've won some titles already there, and now they're up 3-2 on the Wild. They try to wrap that up tonight, I believe, or today on the West Coast, I believe. And then how close are they to getting the basketball team?
Real close. I think that, and again, I know we're going to get into LeBron, but LeBron's got his handprint all over Vegas and the money and the wealth here. The problem with the NBA team, we're going to get baseball. Maybe we'll see what happens there. I don't comment much on the A's because of the Raider relationship, but you got UFC, the sports and entertainment capital of the world. Golden Knights, guys, I've been here since 98. They changed everything. Everything now. I mean, we got a Cirque du Soleil show that turns into a hockey game, and the team's loaded and wins. But the NBA is fit perfectly here because of our proximity to Los Angeles, to Arizona. For fans who are traveling in, you guys come in to do your show. You're here for 3 nights. You can catch an NBA game. The casinos will buy the suites and the tickets. The place will be sold out. And the problem is, I think there should be some contraction. And I don't want to ruffle too many feathers here, but no one really cares a lot about basketball in some markets in this country. And, if you took one of those teams, I'm not saying New Orleans, Memphis, I'm not saying Toronto, I'm not saying it, and put them in Vegas, Vegas would explode with it, but Vegas needs an expansion team because Vegas isn't good at rooting for former teams. So we should have the NBA here, I would think, in the next 3 years. 2 years, they'll make the announcement, they'll break ground, and we'll have the NBA here in 3 to 4 years.
And if it's expansion, you have to add a team. So maybe Seattle gets another one too.
Yes.
Then. Yeah.
Seattle
definitely.
deserves it. Seattle
doubt.
deserves it
For sure.
All right, Spade, let's dive into this Laker thing, man. JT, I know we got a guy that covers him as well after you, and I got to ask you, Arash Markazi joins us. Where are you at with this LeBron? And I get the age, I get the longevity, I get all the stuff, but he scored 3 points in the last 2 fourth quarters. They get beat 4-1 to a young up and coming athletic team in T-Wolves. This team, Luka plays zero defense. Me and Smitty and I came out and said, man, I don't know how this trade works with Luka and him basically both being ball dominant, same type of guy. Where are you at with this Laker team and what they did covering the West Coast as long as you have? Where do they go with JJ Redick and this whole thing and surmise it? Where are you at with this?
Well, first off, let's knock out Redick. He was just exposed. I don't blame him long term. He's a rookie coach. He played too many minutes earlier at the end of the year. He just should have shut these guys down a little bit earlier, and then he burnt them out in the postseason. But as you know, Coach, it's tough to take your stars out with 5 minutes to go in a game when you're down 2 or you're up 2 there. So I'm not going to kill him for that. If this was the NFL, Bill Belichick and Bill Walsh were the 2 greatest coaches to say, I'd rather get rid of you a year early than a year late. So if this was the NFL, LeBron would be packing right now, cleaning out his locker room. They'd be done because this is Luka's franchise going forward. And that guy better get his ass in shape. And if Rob Pelinka has any balls, he's going to say, no, you're not going back to Europe. You're not going drinking cold beers and going on yachts. You're keeping your ass in LA, and we're going to train you, and you're going to drop about 15 pounds and put on 15 more pounds of muscle. So this is Luka's team going forward. Doesn't play a lick of defense at all. They got to get younger, and Luka's got to go recruit now. The good thing about the Lakers is they're great at recruiting. Yeah. Everybody wants to play for the Lakers. I'm a diehard Knicks fan. No one wants to play for my Knicks. Steph Curry, Durant, Damian Lillard, Antetokounmpo. No one wants to play at the Mecca.
Donovan Mitchell didn't even want to go.
Yeah, but now I think Luka can, if LeBron moves on, Luka can get another all-star or 2 with the space, and I think the Lakers could hit the reset button. The problem I see here, guys, is LeBron is in control of the Lakers. He's in control of the coach, the GM, and everything. So if LeBron wants to stick around one more year with Bronny, he will. He'll have his going away tour. He'll get a lot of gifts, and he'll go off into the sunset as a Laker. But that game last night was putrid. That Chris Finch should have been arrested in the tunnel for impersonating a coach. They missed 40 threes. 40. And Rudy Gobert could not be stopped. Rudy Gobert, Shaq was laughing at him. He can't score. They were dropping it into Rudy Gobert, and he's dunk, layup. And this coach continued to let this team. At one point, they missed 18 threes in a row, and the coach couldn't call a timeout and say, we're going to give the effing game back to the Lakers. Go inside, get some easy buckets, and let's close them out. That basketball game last night was garbage, and Minnesota's very fortunate they didn't give the Lakers more life.
Yeah, and I agree. I don't know why, because my favorite player right now to watch is Anthony Edwards, but last night, he just kept chucking up threes after three after three. And I'm like, why are you not going to the rim? The one guy I would say that was doing it the right way was Julius Randle. He was being aggressive, getting into the paint, mid-range, get to the line. I'm like, listen, the paint is wide open. You know, JJ was not playing his big. And he got to ask, I think, after the game about like the lineups and why he didn't bring in a center. And he was like, listen, he's like, when we played our big, we couldn't score points. He said, so it's a give and take with whichever direction we go. We play our big, we lack on offense. We don't play the big, our offense is better, but we lack on defense. So you kind of just got to make a choice. And I don't know, based upon the way the game went with Rudy Gobert last night, if I was a coach, I'm putting a big in. I'm sorry. I can't just let Rudy it was too easy. It was just easy all night, you know, all night long. So,
but as you guys were watching the game last night and with the coaching background, and this is where my head's about to pop. Mm-hmm. You're watching a game being played. It could be football, basketball, and you're sitting here going, wait a second. We can't hit a three. We just can't hit one. So how about the coach says we're not going to shoot threes, up 7, up 9, and miss another 5 in a row, and then the Lakers have the lead. I mean, Coach, I'll ask you, how hard is it to get in a huddle and say our game plan that we put together 2 days ago and practice in the shoot around today, it's not going right. So let's change it. And Chris Finch couldn't do that. And fortunately, the Lakers, Luka had the back issue. LeBron was cold. If Luka got hot and LeBron got hot late, the Lakers would have won that game. And I still think Minnesota would have won the series. I have such a struggle. I love the NBA. I hate this garbage league with all these missed threes. I hate these effing 7-footers shooting threes and missing. When are we going to see a guy walk the ball up the court, drop it into a McHale, a Ewing, an Olajuwon, get an easy bucket? Just get an easy bucket and slow your roll. No, it's 3 after 3. Everybody wants to be Steph Curry, guys.
Hey, JT, and that's my point. That's why I tell Smitty every day, I go, he's the guy that changed this game and made 7-footers shoot threes, and that's what the game has become. Here's the issue I have, too. You're talking coaching. I want to flip it to JJ, who I don't believe should have been hired as a rookie coach who's never coached ever. You play a guy in Kleber who hasn't played since January. You pass over and don't even pull Jackson Hayes in the game, who could at least did something to help 20 rebounds for Gobert on the offensive glass. And you don't do any of that. And to your question, how hard is it to go in the huddle and tell them, here's the problem. We are in the biggest player empowerment era that we've ever been, with the money, the entitlement, everything that's happening. I don't know if a coach can get through to any of these dudes anymore. College football and in basketball, you're seeing it at an all-time cliff with the salaries and the NIL. I don't know if it's not transcending upwards for the first time ever as far as making these guys from the transfer portal era, NIL era, to the NBA and NFL, where these guys are so entitled. They're like, you ain't telling me nothing. I make triple your salary or quadruple your salary. I don't know if you're ever going to get hard-nosed real coaching anymore, where the kids, the players, not the kids, actually do what is designed. Like, I don't know if you can. I don't know.
Coach, you nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. I love the NBA. I got my name JT the Brick because it rhymes with Knicks. I'm a diehard NBA fan. I am so disgusted by player entitlement. I am the king, of crushing load management. I see one of these guys taking a night off, making $400,000 a night. I go nuts the next day. The players are entitled. They ran Mike Malone out of Denver. The coaches don't get a chance to coach. I call it the regurgitation of the middle-aged white guy. Coach gets fired. He goes on the bench for half a year. He gets a new head coaching job. Everybody gets a job. No new blood coming in. I'm disgusted with where the NBA is today. I don't think it should be rugby ball like the Knicks and the bad boys back in the day. I don't think you have to tackle everybody on every possession, but coaching isn't involved. The players run the league. And when a player like James Harden doesn't want to play for the Rockets, he gets fat. He gets traded to Brooklyn. Jimmy Butler, it's so important that the Warriors lose. Let me make this point. It's so important. Butler quit on Mickey Aronson, who just got into the Hall of Fame, Pat Riley, Hall of Famer, and Eric Spoelstra. He quit. And they basically should have suspended him for the entire year with pay for conduct detrimental to the team, or trade his ass to New Orleans, or ship him to Canada and Toronto. What do? Player entitlement. They send him to the Warriors?
Fucking right,
Are you kidding me? So unless you're a Warrior fan on this show, how could you root for the Warriors and Jimmy Butler to be rewarded, playoff Jimmy, with another chance? He quit on a franchise and got rewarded. And Steve Kerr sitting at these press conferences, oh man, Jimmy's one of the greatest guys I coached. Oh yeah, Steve, because he bleeping quit on Pat Riley, one of the greatest legends of all time, and Riley couldn't do anything about it.
Man,
hey, you cooking right now. I can't even say that.
We've been debating this shit for months. I said, man, keep his ass out the league all year. Shit. It's just crazy to me. And then you got a Miami team who's and don't even get me started with the play-in, the fucking all-star debacle. Every year we change the rules. That means you don't have a real all-star game if you're throwing shit at the wall every year to see if it sticks, to get the players to buy in. They fucking make how much money? No, this is what you're going to do, player. Like, it blows my mind, player empowerment, man. It's unbelievable. And why are we got play-in tournament? in the middle of the season. We got fucking the 10 seed. That's what the Miami Heat were, by the way, and they showed it by getting beat by 55. Come on, man. The NBA right now is hard to watch for me. I'm gonna be honest. Memphis getting waxed by OKC. You got this. There hasn't been a real good series. Knicks and Detroit, maybe. I don't know.
Nuggets and Clippers.
Yeah.
I call it, guys. I call it. It's the juice box era that we're living in. You know, a mom could walk on the field in the third inning of a T-ball game with an orange slice and a juice box, and no one even turns their head now. And we're at a point now where younger fans. And I'm not a get off my lawn guy. I'm in nightclubs in Vegas on the weekend. I roll with the biggest of them. I'm not a get off my lawn guy. But I will tell you, this league has deteriorated so badly. And guys, the one thing the NBA has in their pocket, which is good, is the playoffs, because the regular season sucks. It used to be, you know, the league started on opening night. Now they trick you and say, no, it starts Christmas Day. They used to have a doubleheader, then a triple header. Now you have 5 games. So they trick your mind into saying, no, the NBA starts on Christmas. Then they have that stupid tournament early in the season. Then they have the play-in tournament. But once the playoffs begin and we go deeper in the playoffs, these guys play their ass off, and they dive for every loose ball, and they're throwing elbows, and they're chirping at each other. So the NBA knows this, and they really feast off their postseason, where the quality of the product is supposed to get a lot better, and it typically does.
Good point. Yeah, they are playing harder. I mean, there's no question. They're going after loose balls. They're getting chirpy. They're fighting. They're arguing. I love all that part of it. And that, I think it would even be better if you got rid of this damn in season and in the play-in. I think, who was it? The guard. What's his name? Trey Young? Trey Young said, man, what happens is just the 8 teams get in. That's what you earned all season long. That's why we play the regular season. Yeah. And he's even against the play-in shit, man. I just don't get the 10-9. If you beat the 10, you still got another game. You play the 9. The 9 wins. They go up and play the 8. I don't know.
How about this? How about this? The Lakers, the legendary Lakers, hung a banner when they played in that opening tournament.
The middle of the season tournament,
they hung a banner next to the likeness of the late, great Kobe Bryant, Will Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They took that shitty banner, that whatever in-game season crap, they hung that in the rafters. They did. Like acting like it was important because the league told them that they had to. But I tell you, I like the Wolves. That was a big closeout for them, even though they played terrible. I hope my Knicks, they didn't lock the back door. Oh, they let Detroit come in the back door. They should have locked it. They couldn't close out Detroit. That's going to be a hell of a series. You mentioned the Clippers in Denver. Nikola Jokic, best player in the world. Boston shoots a lot of threes, and don't sleep on Cleveland. Holy crap.
No one's talking about Cleveland for some reason. I don't get it.
Yeah, Cleveland, Oklahoma City final could be unbelievable. And my son graduated from Oklahoma, and I was there 3 or 4 years ago where you could sit anywhere you want to see the Thunder, and now the place is rocking. So I like those fans there. But the NBA playoffs, it's going to be a fun conclusion. But what's the world going to do without LeBron? Radio hosts are going to have to go earn a living. They're going to have to do some effing work and not have to low-hang fruit with LeBron every day. They'll do it today and tomorrow, but they're going to have to find something else to talk about, guys.
So before we let you go, are you calling it right now? Did we just watch LeBron's last game in the NBA?
Man, that's a great question. No, not in the NBA. He's not going out this way. No way. All right. No way. LeBron, he's in too good of shape. He had a really good statistical year. If LeBron was smart, because I don't believe in this 6-4. Bill Russell's got 11. Jordan's got 6. No one gives Jordan shit when he didn't make the Eastern Conference Finals and didn't make the finals. LeBron's had an unbelievable Hall of Fame resume. If he's smart, him or Durant are going to try to get to Houston. One of them are going to get to Houston because Houston don't have any experience. They don't have closers yet. And either Durant or LeBron go to Houston and catch a chip on the way out. If LeBron doesn't want to catch a ring on the way out and Durant's happy, they can do whatever they want. But if they want to win, one of these guys should go to Houston or maybe team up with Antetokounmpo now that Lillard's hurt and try to catch a ring on the back end, and that would be cool for their legacy. But I bet you LeBron plays one more year in L.A. because he's in charge of the Lakers, and he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
No doubt. Hey,
Yeah,
love
you
it,
got
JT.
going, man. I'm fired up. I'm ready.
We
I'm
got
ready
to have
get-
you on again,
I
man.
feel
And-
motivated.
Hey, anytime. I love Chris Mad Dog. I've been on his show a few times. Anytime you need me, man, let me know. I'll come on your shit. And
100%.
love it, man. Thanks, JT. I'll get to Vegas. Steve Kim's coming this weekend for all the boxing. Man, I'm thinking about trying to roll up there. I'm a 2-hour drive, man. I might have to show up. I hit you up, man. We got to get together.
Hey, Coach, where are you? Where do you live?
I'm out in the Inland Empire.
Good. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Not
I'm
far.
out. And if you ever come to Vegas, look me up, man. And love to see you guys. I had a pleasure being on the show. My sons are up watching this 23 and 21. They're like, Dad, you're going on the Coach JB show. Knock it out of the park. And I said, I always knock it out of the park. Don't worry about that. Let's get going.
Youngster, hell yeah. Youngsters, hell yeah. Hey, shout out, man. I'll bring you some cigars, man. We got to hook up.
100%, guys. Have a great day.
Hey, you too, brother. Appreciate you. Later.
I love
JT
his
the
energy,
Brick,
man.
man. Legend.
I love his energy, JB.
Man, legend after legend after legend all day long on his Truth Telling Thursday, man. We got one for the books right now, though.
Yes, we do.
Smitty, man, we got another legend joining us. I can't wait to ask him. He's a USC graduate right here. I believe he's in Oklahoma. Another Oklahoma City born and raised guy. Can't wait to bring him in. Arash Markazi, man, legendary.
Yeah.
Bring him in.
What's up?
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good. We missed you last week. I was excited to get you on. I thank you for coming back. Let me ask you right now. You heard the end of JT right there. I told JT when he got on that you were coming on. He smiled. He was like, "Oh man, you've been around some interesting. You got some Vegas stories."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so I split time, so I see JT all the time. I don't go to the clubs like JT, but if I do, I will see JT in the mix. But I was at crypto last night, guys, and I'm still coming to grips with the end of the Lakers season. I mean, listen, I had no expectations of a championship. I did think they could potentially get to the conference finals, but for them to lose in 5, for this to not really be a close series, a gentleman's sweep. And I was at crypto last night, and literally from the opening tip, it wasn't like the Lakers blew a lead. I mean, they were down 21-9 to begin the game, and I'm like, this feels like a Wednesday in November. Like these guys aren't playing like their season's on the line. So it is still surreal to me that this season is over. Again, their season comes to a close before May 1st. It's wild.
That's crazy, and I'm so glad you said that because at the beginning of our show, we were talking about this game, and I think I told JB, I said, man, I texted JB last night, actually. I said, it didn't look like the Lakers, really wanted to win. And I know it sounds so crazy, but it almost felt like they were just out there playing so nonchalant. And so it felt like that being there live as well?
It did. I mean, they really sucked the energy out of the crowd. I think the crowd wanted to be into it, obviously, and you got to give them something to cheer about. So here's the thing. I thought that they would get the lead. I thought they'd be up by 10 or 15. What they have not been able to do in this series, and it proved to be the case again, their fourth quarters were a disaster. They could not close out a single game, but it didn't matter on this one, so it's not like they blew a lead. They just never had the lead, and once we got to the fourth and once we got to the end of the game, they did not show up. But that's my biggest thing. Yes, they need a big man. They need some size. But where was the dog in them? Like, where was when the fourth quarter came up and you got Luka and LeBron? You can't close out a single game in this series. It was tough to watch.
No doubt. I got to ask you. I got to ask you this particular question. You were I think you were the first AD interview when he became a Laker. And you were one of Kobe's last interviews. Rest in peace to the bean, to my GOAT. How surreal is it now pulling this, like you just said, full circle, put a full bag on this thing, wrap it up with a bow. They're out before May 1st, and AD's gone after you're one of his first interviews as a Laker, and you see Luka trade. Everything's crazy. The world's going upside down when that trade happened. Now, 87 days after that trade, what do you think after the entire thing with Dallas?
I got to be honest, guys. It is still surreal for me to see Luka with the Lakers because I just remember the night of that trade and I was in Vegas for the fight that they were having. Again, I know you guys were talking about going out there every Cinco de Mayo. I try to head out to Vegas. But Luka is that type of talent, guys, that you know that you don't trade. Again, a 5-time All-NBA first-team player at 25 years old. So when I go to games now and I see the number 77 jerseys and Luka's with the team, that's why I have a little bit of a different feeling about this season. This first round was a disaster. There's no two ways about it. If this was previous to the trade, if this season came to a close in 5 like it did a year ago with LeBron and Davis, I would be on here with you guys saying, like, okay, like, it's time to move on from these guys. Like, they won a championship in year 1. It was in the bubble. You can say what you want, but whatever. They got that chip, but they've not done a thing since then. I have a different feeling because now they got Luka. This team was not built around Luka. Moving forward, it will be. And I heard what JT said, and I don't totally disagree, but this is Luka's team now, and LeBron knows that. And I still think LeBron wants to retire with the Lakers. By the way, there's no way he's retiring without one of these farewell tours.
Yeah.
He's gonna announce it like before night 1. And when he goes to Cleveland, he will be celebrated. When he goes to Miami, he'll be celebrated. Like, there is no way he's gonna do the Tim Duncan where it's like July and he's gonna like issue like a press release. Like, the guy's having a retirement tour. But I feel differently because they got Luka. They got a 26-year-old superstar now.
Yeah.
What do the Lakers need though around that? Because he plays zero defense. We saw him get blown by 9 times solo last night. I think they said it's the most in the NBA. What do they need? And obviously, no rim protection in a perimeter heavy league now. What do they need?
You know, the biggest thing that they needed, and we knew this from the moment they made the trade and they nixed that Mark Williams deal, is they need a big man. Now, you know, the problem is, like, you know, you can't get a Rudy Gobert type, but you got to get someone who's – Jackson Hayes by far, in a way, was the worst starting center in the playoffs. He's probably one of the worst starting centers in the league. The fact that he didn't play a second in an elimination game shows you the confidence that they have in him. They knew that. And so that's why I hated that they nixed that Mark Williams trade. Maybe they saw something in that physical long-term that wasn't going to work. I think with Mark Williams, they're at least competitive. This is a 7-game series. We'll see how far they go. But you guys touched on it with JT. Like we are on a collision course to Oklahoma, Cleveland. And I know people in Los Angeles, my friends here in Los Angeles, New York, think like Oklahoma City, Cleveland. This isn't about tourism, folks. I'm not saying move to Oklahoma. These are the best 2 teams in the league, and it's not particularly close this season.
Man. Well, you mentioned Mark Williams and that trade getting nixed. After the game, he tweeted out, like, was it a smiling emoji? I think you engaged with it there. Is he kind of trolling there a little bit there?
Well, so he had the smiling, and then on his story on IG, what's the guy who shows up at the guy's funeral to take a picture? Like he really was taking his victory tour. And I will say this. The Lakers did take a dump on this kid. Like, they basically said he's damaged goods. It is, I cannot remember the last time a trade went through that far. Like, they put out the press release. Dalton Connect was in Charlotte. Like, Dalton Connect was about to go through a practice. Like, we've never seen a trade go that far before a team says, whoa, let's reverse this. So, you know, that's tough for Mark. I'm sure he's dealt with that. He was going to go from one of the worst teams in the league to a championship contending team. And there's a lot of people around the league who thought if Mark Williams is healthy, and it's a huge if, because I don't think he's ever been fully healthy, this team can contend. And again, watching this series against Gobert, where Rudy did like whatever he wanted, it was tough. Because I really do think with Mark Williams, it's at least a little bit more competitive.
No doubt. What is this a full blow up, full rebuild? Like, they have zero depth. Obviously, JJ had no confidence in anyone off the bench. Obviously, playing those guys every minute in game 5 or 4. Where are you at with this whole roster as far as what needs to happen? Does Jeannie need to blow this thing up?
Yeah, it's a great question because I don't know if they can do a full rebuild as long as LeBron is a part of the team, and they will give him. Listen, they're not going to let him play forever. But here's the thing. As poorly, and he played terribly in this postseason, certainly in these last 2 games. Coach, you touched on it in your tweet. Like, I mean, I've never seen a player of that caliber really, like, not show up in an elimination game. But they're going to give him this, like, one last year. So you can't, like, like again, when I say they need a big man, they're gonna look at Brook Lopez maybe. Like they're not in a position to attract a star. Now they do have some pieces actually because the Mavs totally got fleeced. They do have a first round pick. They do have like other pieces that they could potentially move, but this team's not going to look totally different. They're going to bring in a big man. They're going to do some things, but it's still going to be Luka, LeBron, Reeves. We'll see who else. But, like, unless they get another partner like the Mavs who want to gift them an amazing player, like, it's not going to look too totally different.
Man.
So there's no shot at getting like the Lakers have always historically done something to get a freak that everyone's like, no way they got. So there's no possibility of a Giannis, KD, none of that because the Suns are a bad deal too. Everyone thought they were championship material with those big three, even a four maybe with Booker not showing up really and KD and everything there. That's going to get blown up, I assume. So do the Lakers get one of them guys over here? So you're saying just because of Cap and LeBron, there's no chance.
This is the one caveat, Coach. I mean, Coach, if we sat here a year ago and you said, well, what about Luka? I would have said, like, Coach, go get a drug test. Like, what are you talking about? The Mavs are not trading Luka for what? Like KD, damaged goods, 1 first-round pick, and Max Christie? Like, come on. Right. So I say I don't think so. I think KD, in terms of the most likely, like, if he just wants to force his way out, and you talk about an absolute disaster, like, they're not – the fact that you guys just touched on this whole play-in tournament, like, if you can't even make the play-in tournament with KD, Devin Booker, like, so they need – exactly, right? So that's a full rebuild. I don't think the Lakers have enough there. Like, you would have to give them, like, Austin Reeves, quite frankly, but that, again, I don't think that's going to happen. But, by the way, every Lakers fan would love that. Like, it's, if this is a star town, so they only care about Giannis, KD, Luka, LeBron, and players like that.
Let me ask you this question, because I believe you were in, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were in the media room yesterday pregame when that media member asked JJ that question about, not playing or leaning on his assistant coaches in this game. Explain just, I mean, is there anything behind the scenes there that you're able to talk about, or just what was the energy like pregame in the room with JJ?
It's interesting because the media member who asked that question is one of the nicest people, and the question came from a good place. So I see a lot of people respect to Jay Williams, but I think he had a tweet like the gotcha media, like the reporter like asked a legitimate question. By the way, like it had never been done in playoff history for a coach to play the same 5 guys an entire second half. So basically, the question was like, listen, are you going to lean on your assistants, Scotty Brooks, Nate McMillan, like whatever? I had already stopped recording because I thought he was done, and I saw his facial expressions. And by the way, I covered JJ when he was a player with the Clippers, and I've covered him this season. And I knew he did not like this question. So I was like, let me bring out my phone again and record this. It was obviously more heated than I thought. I mean, he did not appreciate that. And he basically, said, what, is that because I'm not an experienced coach? Whatever. He was obviously clearly not in a good place. I didn't have a really good feeling about the game when he responded like that. And so, listen, I mean, one of the biggest things was he was celebrated so greatly in his first season. And he did have a good first season. They were a top 4 seed. They had home court advantage in the first round. But the way that this series unfolded, the way this team was outcoached, he has to look at himself, quite frankly. He has to look in the mirror and say, how can I improve this summer and improve as a coach? So listen, it's up to Rob Pelinka to improve the roster. If JJ is truthful with himself, he has to improve too.
Man,
no doubt. You gotta all every year, man. As a coach, you gotta go and self. We call it, self scout. We gotta self scout ourselves, and obviously, I think he'll learn and grow. But I gotta ask you the funny thing out there. It's on our thumbnail. Darvin Ham, I mean, was let go, and we've seen championship coaches being fired a year after. Mike Malone gets fired during the season, all-time winningest coach in Denver history. Is there any shot that he gets let go here, or no?
No, there's no shot, because when you hire a first-year coach this is a long-term play. Like Jeannie and Rob, like again, it would have to be a disastrous couple of years. It is amazing, Coach, where the NBA is at. Like they had that stat season. You know, when you look at Mike Malone, 2 years post winning a championship, he gets fired. Frank Vogel, same thing. And you go down the list of Mike Budenholzer. Like normally you win a championship that gives you what a few years.
Yeah.
In the NBA, it's just 2. So, but JJ is in a unique position. They did not hire a former coach or assistant that is on a short leash. I mean, JJ is their guy for the foreseeable future, and he's lucky because they've attached him with Luka Doncic. And I say that because if it was just LeBron and AD, I'm like what does the future hold? At the very least, we know who's replacing LeBron, and I think he's already replaced LeBron as the guy on this team. But no, he's not on a hot seat. That was a disaster, no doubt about that. But they're going to give him, you know, I would be shocked if he doesn't last at least 4 to 5 years.
Interesting.
Let me ask you this, because we've had this debate a couple of times on the show. The Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry, I mean, they're looking, you know, to hopefully close out the Rockets when they go back up to the Bay here in this next game. Hypothetically, if Steph was able to lead this team this year to one more ring, what does that do in terms of like legacy conversation? I know JB, and we have another friend of ours who comes on the show, Super Bowl champion Shaun King, who they kind of make the argument that Steph may be above LeBron. I love Steph. He's one of my favorite players to watch. I think that's a little crazy, but you've been covering the game for a long time. What would happen if that'd be ring number 5 in the LeBron era? You would say he's won 5 rings.
It's a great point. So he's in that conversation, right? I mean, so I think for some people it's Jordan and no one else. For some people it's like LeBron and Jordan, whatever. I think Steph is in that conversation. I would argue he's kind of on the fringes now. If he wins a championship with this team in this time period, right, where everyone's already kind of moved up. By the way, it was 2 years ago where the Lakers beat the Warriors in the second round when Klay struggled, and people had thought that they were done at that point.
Yeah,
this would have been the second time if they find a way to win it all, where people have thought that they were done. In the pandemic, in the bubble, they weren't even in the play-in tournament. They weren't even a top 10 team. So this would have been the second time they've remade this team, and the one constant, and I love Draymond, but I'm not gonna put it the one constant is Steph Curry. With Steph, they found a way to win, so he's in that conversation. I mean, the comparison that I'll make is Kobe. That there's certain people who put him in that GOAT conversation. There's certain people who don't. Steph is in that conversation. If he wins one more, he is for sure in that conversation.
Let me ask you something. You covered the Clippers, obviously, LA guy, when Doc Rivers was there.
Yeah.
He's given up more 3-1 leads than any coach. He's also gotten swept more than any coach. He got a gentleman's sweep here against the Pacers. There's obviously some rumblings out there that this is probably Giannis's last game, blah, blah, blah. Dame gets hurt. Where are you at with Doc Rivers? Does he keep his job there and up there with Giannis, and does Giannis end up moving?
I'd be curious what that relationship is like, Coach, because I covered Doc when he was with the Clippers out here. And at one point, and it was really during the pandemic, actually, it wasn't at one point. He lost that locker room, and he couldn't come back once they lost that 3-1 lead to Denver. I don't know what the dynamic is like with Giannis. Listen, Dame going out the way he did, and he's going to be out for the majority, if not the entirety of next season. Giannis, listen, he's a loyal guy, but listen, there's no doubt that he wants to compete. He wants to win another championship. He got one, but he wants to continue to compete. And for him, these last couple of years, not even to get past the first round is tough. So I don't know how just because I don't cover the Bucks, how Giannis views Doc. Doc is an amazing people person, as you know. And so that's how he always finds a way to get a new job, to keep his job. I mean, he's always in the mix. So my guess is he remains the coach, but that's only if Giannis thinks he's the right guy.
No doubt. I'm with you. It's going to be interesting. I think he's on the move. I don't know. I don't know. Let me ask you something real quick because you cover all things LA. you were one of the first guys with the LeBron coverage, and when he made the decision, I know this whole thing in Vegas. Where you at with the current LA, the Kings and the Dodgers? Can we win it, and can the Kings stave off elimination against the Oilers? And then where are we at with the Kings? I know the Vegas Golden Knights are good, and they've won one recently. Where are you at with the Kings and the Dodgers in LA now that the Lakers are done?
So, I mean, I had back-to-back bad nights at Crypto.com Arena. I was at that Kings Oilers Game 5. And I'm looking up, Coach, at one point, and the Oilers had outshot the Kings 40-15. I'm like, they didn't even show up. They're not like, and by the way, that's another team, if you've watched that series, that has not showed up in the third period.
Damn.
So, going up to Edmonton in an elimination situation, I don't have a ton of confidence, quite frankly. It is one of those games, though, if they find a way to bring that series back to Los Angeles for a Game 7, it would be amazing. This would be the toughest series loss as a longtime Kings fan to take, just because of what the Oilers have done to the Kings the last few years, and for them to take a 2-0 lead, have the lead in the third period, have a 3-1 lead, have the lead with 30 seconds left. So, listen, Kings are really frustrating me. By the way, as a Los Angeles sports journalist, like my season, the Clippers could lose to Denver. We'll see what happens there. The Kings could lose to Edmonton.
Shit.
And May 1st, I don't have things to cover. So you and I are going to have to go to Vegas to watch boxing or something. The Dodgers, that's different. The Dodgers are, listen, it goes without saying, they paid for it. They're the best team in baseball. They're the defending champions. There's moments and times where they struggle, and I'm like, yeah, guys, it's a 162-game season. They're going to be just fine. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're going to be just fine. So, long season with the Dodgers, but, love playoff basketball and hockey, and it could be over for me tonight.
Dang, that's sad.
Hey, you think the Clippers stave it off tonight, though?
I think they push it to Game 7. That the Intuit Dome, you guys have to check it out.
I've been there. I'm down the street. It's amazing.
I'm so glad they got their home, and those home fans showed up. It's been a struggle for them for a variety of reasons, guys. Parking and the app and whatever. It's been hard to get fans during the regular season. In the postseason, it's been loud, it's been packed, it's been amazing. I think they win Game 6. There was really nothing that I saw in Game 5 that showed me that they can find a way to beat Denver there. But we'll see. Again, I had Clippers in 7, so we'll see if that happens. I hope so. So we have some kind of playoff, something to cover here.
Hey, all you're going to have is the Dodgers. I'll be at the Dodger game with you.
That's fine. That's okay. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, man, I can't thank you enough for hopping on, man. Hopefully the Clippers stave off and the Kings do as well, and we can get you back on sometime, man. I appreciate you coming on, and stay safe out here. Hopefully I'll see you in L.A. or Vegas soon.
Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon, guys.
All right, brother. Appreciate you. Arash Markazi joins us, man. Appreciate him.
Clap it up for him, man. Clap it up, man. What a show. Woo, man! I tell you,
that's like real work.
Man, people don't understand. Oh, man, let me crack my neck. Oh,
what? People don't what?
People don't understand, homie. That's some real work, bro. We went back to back to back to back. That's why I had to cut you off like 2 hours ago to get. I said we gotta take a break now. If we don't, it's a wrap. So, sheesh. I'm good though. How you feeling?
Listen, man. JT the Brick just texted me. His co-host, worker at Raider Nation Radio, Q Myers, will be joining young Bailey, on his show, 12 p.m. noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So head on over to Bailey Price Media, as he'll have his show with JT Brick's co-host, Q Myers. So head on over there and check out Bailey. With his interview prowess. Shout out to Arash, man, JT the Brick. Man, we had everybody on today. God damn. OKC Thunder, a play-by-play announcer, man. Shout out to everybody that popped in. Steve Kim. We had a loaded lineup. Tomorrow's Free Game Friday, man. Feels like it's I love to guess, but hey, man, it's making us work, and I'm glad you guys like it. And
I like it. We about to start doing Monday through Thursday and have 3-day weekend. But nah, man, I'm glad y'all like it. I'm glad Chris. I hope we bounce back, Chris. I know
DPS always wanted to try to find a cut.
No, earlier we disappointed you, Chris. Hopefully we bounce back and you like how the programming ended up becoming. And Yeah, man. I'm gonna go ahead and go hug my wife. See how her night went at work. She's exhausted, and I'm gonna go to my other job and do my other job. And JB,
somebody sent me something, man, for you. And I just gotta ask. Please tell me it's not so.
What?
Please tell me it's not so. Were you spotted with this?
No, I'm a married man, homie. See my ring on my finger. I ain't spotted with no other woman, period. And even if I was a single man,
but I heard you was
that's not my type.
The rumor is you was at the farmer's market with her, homie.
I don't know where they're not even in America, homie.
What?
They're not even in America, homie.
That's East LA, homie.
No, it's not. They're not in America. I know what East LA looks like. I'm there all the time. So shout out to them, though. Got swag, hair nice skin, face ain't bad. It's just not my type. Like, that's all it is. It's just not my type. I think she's the credible looking woman though. So I just not my type. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We gotta get back to a space where we're able to say not my type. Like ain't nothing wrong with saying not my type. That's okay. That it's people who I look at where I'm like, oh, that's a good looking person. It's just not my type. That's it.
Oh, homie. So what can you break down what this is?
I don't know what it is. You brought it up.
Well, Ruben's in the chat. Ruben and the Mexican homies, they call it a torta.
Torta. Okay.
This is a torta.
Torta.
So the torta has a movement going on. The torta movement.
Torta. I like that word. Torta.
Yeah.
I like that. Let's keep saying it.
Well,
what?
Be careful when you talk to bigger women like that and Mexican women, Mexican heritage. Torta.
What would it mean?
Huh?
What does it mean?
You should probably look at that.
What you got me saying? Because
FA said he'll handle that.
Well, FA likes like taller, bigger women. Like
that's not taller. That's not a taller, bigger woman.
I get taller and bigger because like FA wants he's thinking about like league. Like he's thinking about getting his kids to the league. I don't care about all that, but like he care about that. So like
that ain't getting you to the league.
Shit, bullshit.
That right there is gonna get your kid to the league.
6'4". This woman's 5'9", 312. So if you put them together, they're gonna have a left tackle who's gonna be 6'5".
Have you seen her move, homie? Have you seen her body type?
Look at her feet. She got good feet.
She has good feet.
She has skinny ankles, homie. You can't tell. I can look at her jeans. I'm
confused on what's going on with the pants. Can you break the pants down?
They're just softer material jeans that fits like that, so she can fit comfortably.
Well, no, the tag is in the front, homie.
Yeah, it's like a style. It's like a style.
That's a torta.
What does that mean? Because hey, forgive me, y'all, because I said it earlier.
Why is the 501 sign in the front, homie?
A torta is a sandwich.
Yeah, it's a carne. Some carne, homie.
Hey, y'all, if what I'm saying disrespectful message, y'all know I love message. So if I'm saying some disrespectful stuff, forgive me. I didn't know. I trusted my co-host, and he fucked me. Pause. Because I love messages, and they love me too.
Why is the sign, the tag in the front, homie?
That's the look. I like the look.
No, you don't. Yeah, you got to stop lying to some people.
For her,
man.
It's a good look for her.
You got to. No, it's not a good look for her.
It is, homie. What are you saying?
She should never wear those jeans out of her house ever. First of all, ever.
What should she wear then?
Ruben, what's torta mean? She should wear fucking baggy sweats, homie.
Just all day.
Baggy sweats.
Just all day.
Yeah, all day.
That's
like I don't understand, homie, why you are sitting here defending this look by the torta.
It don't look that bad. I mean, she's out of shape, but I'm saying the outfit don't look that bad. She got some fucking flops like you always wear, some blue jeans and a brown
sandal. If you ever see me wearing those sandals, those are sandals. If you ever see me wearing those sandals, I want you to immediately retire from this show and never talk to me again. But the bottom line is this thick or fat?
It's not my type.
No, I know. I need a specific answer. Is it thick or fat?
I wouldn't call it thick.
But so what would you say it is?
I just wouldn't call it thick. It's not my thing. I think she's out of shape. But I think she can get in shape.
Paris, why you love Smitty?
I think she can get in shape.
Paris, why do you love Smitty off that comment? I'm confused. Anyway, real quick, the MVP of the NFL will be. Take a look. Heard it here first. See you tomorrow, Free Game Friday.